over another style. And the number one track bias that you'll hear is a speed bias.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Are you ready to hit the gridiron and make your mark? The Cleveland Cobras are recruiting players and coaches for the upcoming Premier Amateur Football League season. We're looking for passion, grit, and the relentless drive to win. Whether you're a seasoned vet or hungry rookie, your shot starts now. Join a brotherhood, build a legacy, strike with the Cobras. Follow us on Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or for league information, visit TAFLfootball.com to get started today. Team, pride, Cobras.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio, WRDB, The Scourge.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Ohio. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
Are you ready to join the legacy? This is your chance to become part of something special with the Youngstown Patricians. Honoring the proud football tradition of the Valley, we're on the lookout for talented post-high school athletes who want to make their mark on the field. Whether you're a seasoned high school athlete, college, or former professional player, develop your skills and become part of a team that values hard work, dedication, and community spirit. Don't wait. Begin your path to the gridiron by visiting youngstownpat.com or contacting us on Facebook at the Youngstown Patricians. Be bold, be legendary, join the Youngstown Patricians today.
It's time to kick back and listen to the Sports Page with your host, Pat Lucia, right here on Western Reserve Radio. You can call the show at 330-707-4202 and tell everyone what's on your mind in the wonderful world of sports. Now, here's your host, Pat Lucia.
Saturday morning Sports Page, Pat Lucia. 330-707-4202. Get in, talk sports. We do it every Saturday morning here. And here is Western Reserve Radio. I get Dave Clark on his way in. We've got a lot to get to, though. We got the NFL draft. We're going to give it our shot, put our mock draft together. Talk about the NBA. It's now set. The NBA playoffs do start today. And you need to have Amazon Prime in order to get your NBA games, most of them, at least in the first round. And we'll talk about that also. But results from last night, Orlando beat Charlotte. That was the first game, 121-90. What does it mean? Orlando will be the 8th seed in the East, and therefore they will go ahead and play the Detroit Pistons. Then the game at night, the later game, Phoenix beat Golden State 111-96. Basically means Phoenix earns the right to play OK City. So they take the OK City Thunder on. Phoenix did away with Golden State. On a side note, Draymond Green and Devin Booker did get ejected from the game last night, as a side note. You got to figure any game that Draymond Green plays, the over-under for him to get ejected in any game he plays is probably more than 50%. It's just the way it is in the NBA with Draymond Green. But the Warriors are basically out of it. They were 10th seed coming into it. They did beat the Clippers and did away with the Clippers on Wednesday night. So they sent the Clippers home, and then Golden State was then sent home last night by the Phoenix Suns, 111-96. So that does shape the NBA playoffs. Now they are called the playoffs. The 4 games or the 8 games that they played this past week, it was basically, I should say, recorrected 6 games. They played this week was the play-in tournament. So it's a little different. But at the end of the day, I kind of look at it as it is the playoffs, and that's what it is. So we'll see how it goes. We'll get started. We'll look at, again, the NBA playoffs will start today at noon, or I believe it's at 1 o'clock. It is Cleveland taking on the Toronto Raptors. Again, there's 4 games today. 3 of the 4 games are on Amazon Prime. So you're going to have to obviously have Amazon Prime in order to get these games, at least 3 of these games. At 1 o'clock today, Toronto will take on Cleveland in Cleveland. 3 o'clock, Minnesota will take on the Denver Nuggets. 3:30 on Amazon Prime. 6 o'clock tonight, Atlanta taking on the New York Knicks in New York. That's the 6 o'clock game. Then tonight, this is on ABC, Houston at the LA Lakers. And the question, obviously, with the Lakers is, will Austin Reeves and Luka play? And Luka has the hamstring. I believe Austin Reeves has an abdominal issue. So we'll see if those players play. If they don't play, the Lakers probably don't have much of a shot to beat Houston. They do have the home court advantage, though, against Houston, but Houston doesn't have quite the point guard you need, but they shouldn't have any problem with the LA Lakers. So we'll see how that goes. But again, a lot of this will depend on does Luka Doncic play for the Lakers, because he is pretty much the team. LeBron will be ready to play, but again, Lakers, if you don't have Luka and you don't have Austin Reeves, they don't give the Lakers much of a shot to beat the Houston Rockets. Sunday games will be Philadelphia at Boston, 1 o'clock. That's an ABC game. Followed up by Phoenix at Oklahoma City, 3:30, also an ABC game. Now, these games slide over to Peacock, though, NBC and Peacock on Sunday. Orlando at Detroit at 6:30. That's NBC and Peacock. Followed up by Portland at the San Antonio Spurs, 9 o'clock, NBC and Peacock. So at least the Sunday games are all going to be in network TV. The 3 of the 4 games today will be on Amazon Prime. And then tonight's game with Houston at LA, that will basically be the game on ABC. So you'll have that to root for. Other news out there. The San Diego Padres are evidently have been sold for only $4 billion, about $4 billion. We'll round this one up. The word was they were sold for $3.99 million. So it was $3.9 billion. San Diego Padres are on the verge of being sold for a record price, $3.9 billion. Let's round it up to $4 billion. What's another million here? To Jose E. Feliciano, who's also the co-owner of Chelsea Football Club, and his wife, Kawaza Jones. A source confirmed to ESPN this Friday. The sale easily tops the previous $2.4 billion, which was the sold for the New York Mets by Steve Cohen, purchased the New York Mets in 2020 for $2.4 billion. Before the sale has to be finalized, it must be approved by 75% of the Major League Baseball owners. So we'll see how that basically plays itself out. So I'm assuming that's probably going to get approved. Feliciano is 53 years old. He's the co-founder and managing partner of Clear Lake Capital, a private equity firm based in Santa Monica, California. It says in 2022, Clear Lake and Todd Bowie, part owner of the LA Dodgers, led a consortium that purchased Chelsea for $5.2 billion. So he purchased Chelsea back $5.2 billion in 2022. So the San Diego Padres looks like they will be sold for $3.9 billion. I guess we really can't round it off to $4 billion. But what's a million here and there at this point? I guess the only thing that blows me away here is where's all this money come from? Also, bottom line is if the Padres are worth $3.9 billion today and the New York Mets were sold for $2.4 billion about 6 years ago in 2020, when Forbes and magazine says that the Dallas Cowboys are worth $10 billion and the Yankees are right behind them at $9 billion, I don't think that means anything. It just depends on who basically has got enough money and what they can actually get for those teams. And to actually ballpark it, I have to probably think that the Yankees and the Cowboys are probably worth somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 to 15 billion at this point. We won't know because obviously Jerry Jones and Hal Steinbrenner aren't going to be selling their teams anytime soon that I know of. I did read an excellent book by Mike Vaccaro, Bosses of the Bronx, about the Steinbrenner family and when George bought the team In 1973, he actually had to spend $168,000 of his own money as part of the deal to buy the Yankees, which I believe was somewhere in the neighborhood of about $8 million. Well, now the Yankees are obviously worth a heck of a lot more than what George paid for them back then, which is 53 years ago. So these teams just continue to go up in price. These sport franchises continue to just go up. So that's what you got going on. So we also have the NFL draft now coming upon us. We'll be in Pittsburgh Thursday, and we'll get to that and give our mock drafts and give it our best bet. One thing I could say about the draft is seems to be total uncertainty outside of the number one pick where all these guys are going, Dave Clark. Mm-hmm. I've looked at many mock drafts, and no two mock drafts are even remotely alike. And from listening to what the people are talking about it on TV and on the internet, they're all over the board. Outside of number one going, Mendoza going to the Raiders at number one. After that, all bets are off on who's 2, 3, and 4. I mean, the one that I do kind of see is Arvell Reese going to the Jets with number 2. But then again, I've looked at other, and I've also seen that off the wall. Like, it just seems nobody seems to really know. I do want to correct myself. The Yankees actually sold back in 1973 for $10 million. But I guess they were saying that, I love this part, it was really effectively $8.8 million due to included assets, including the parking garages. So back in 1973, Steinbrenner purchased the Yankees, his group purchased the Yankees for $10 million. But Steinbrenner actually had to pony up $168,000 of his own money to get in that deal. And what's great about it now is the team is probably worth, when the San Diego Padres sell for just a hair under $4 billion, you got to figure the Yankees are probably worth somewhere in the neighborhood of 15, maybe 20 billion at this rate. Mm-hmm. Between they and Dallas are always the two teams historically that have the highest price as far as dollars go, value. So I thought it was funny that the Padres did sell almost double what the Mets went for 6 years ago, $2.4 billion for the Mets. Mm-hmm. The Padres just a hair under $4 billion. It was $3.99 billion for it.
Yep. Outrageous numbers, and they'll continue to go up no matter what.
Yeah, that's one thing. These teams are only going to increase in value as time goes by.
Yeah, and that's why that's why you see some owners, and not talking about Jerry Jones or Steinbrenner, but a lot of them, they don't even care about whether they win or lose, as long as that cost can continue to keep going up and up and up. So if they want to sell it, they're going to make a nice profit back. So, but I think the majority, I don't want to put that on all of them. I think the majority of owners, they want to own it, and then they want to be successful as owners and be winners. But you got some outliers in there that they're not really concerned about winning or losing. How much money can you bring in here?
Well, with the revenue streams being what they are, and this opens kind of up the door to, let's look at the NBA playoffs. Mm-hmm. The games, there are 4 games on today. 3 games are on Prime. So you got to have Amazon Prime to watch 3 of the 4 games today. So, and we'll look at the schedule moving forward, but bottom line is football's on Netflix. NFL football's on Prime. Now you have basketball on Prime, so you have to pay to have these streaming services. So the fans left out in the cold, but the fans always been left out in the cold. I mean, the owners really never cared about the fans, especially once they got the TV deals and the revenues coming in from TV and streaming services. The owners aren't going to care that the average fan has to pony up whatever Prime is, $16, $17 a month, as an example, and whatever you have to pay for Netflix a month or Peacock, NBC Peacock. But the point on it is the owners aren't going to care about any fan, not the casual fan, the hardcore fan. They'll put the games on when they want to put the games will need to be put on. Now, NFL tells the streaming services and the networks, because the NFL is the top dog, this is when you're going to put our games on. The other way around with basketball and baseball, the networks tell those sports, these are the times available. We're going to put your sport on this day and time. They will dictate to baseball and basketball when their games will be on. But the other way, with football being the top dog, they will tell Prime and all the networks, these are the day. This is when our games are going to be on. We want a Wednesday game. They make it happen.
Yeah.
They put it on Netflix. They'll put it on anything they want, and people they know most people will buy it that want to watch it, especially football's ultra high demand. They know people will buy Prime, buy Netflix, spend the money, and buy basically the streaming service to watch the sport.
Yes. I don't know what to say. It's to a certain extent, it's frustrating. I mean, when you think about it for some, but like you said, they don't care. They don't care about it. I mean, the money is coming in. That's all they're concerned with. And, the people that can't even go to games now, unaffordable to try to go to games in the States. It costs too much for a family to go. They go to a game, they might spend $5, $6, and they're not exaggerating. If you count tickets and everything in that, it's big money they paying to go to a game. So they're not worried about that because they see they're still selling out all the stadiums. All these streaming services are not stopping a thing. You don't hear any complaints about, nothing. And that's why it's going to continue to go up. And some of these other services that may be on a lower level now, as they grow, they'll get in the mix. As they bring in the right money for them, they'll get in there. Because who would ever thought 4 years ago that Netflix?
Yeah, it would be.
Who would think that?
Would put a football game on.
Not Netflix. You never would have thought that. And here it's there. So I think that'll just continue to go, and some others will sign up for it. And as long as the money is coming in that way, there'll be no qualms about it. Remember, it might have been 10 years ago. It might have been. It's probably was longer than that. When people started complaining, saying they'll probably get rid of football, try to abolish it almost to where it'll become a flag sport. They just enhanced that too. That'll be covered big time. Flag football. But that people are always going to want football the way you have it today. They're not going to go for no flag. They'll lose so much interest so quick. If it was only that, no. They want the physicality of the sport, so it's always going to be around, and it's just going to continue to empty the pocketbooks of people. But if they got the cash, go ahead. We'll sit in our living room and continue to watch them, because those things is outrageous, the cost.
Well, and here's the thing, too. When you watch these games now, football is almost now tailor-made to stay at home and watch it on TV than to go to the game.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, you're going to drive. All right, you go to the game. An example: we live in here in Youngstown. We drive to Pittsburgh or Cleveland. You know, it's an hour and change either way.
Yeah, we're right in the middle.
We're in the middle. Pittsburgh is a little shorter, maybe an hour. Cleveland, hour and 20 minutes, whatever. But when you figure your time to get down there, park, you got to leave. So, you're able to find a parking space and park and then walk to the stadium. You probably have to leave about 10 o'clock in the morning to get to a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, it was probably earlier than that.
And earlier,
yeah.
maybe, and that's pushing it.
Yeah.
So if you want to say 9 or 10, but then you go to the game lets out at 4 o'clock. I know for a fact it'll take you walk to your car. It'll take you an hour, a minimum hour, to get out of Pittsburgh. You might as well just sit in your car and wait because the traffic getting out of that Pittsburgh Steeler game is just brutal. I don't know, Cleveland may not be quite as bad because you have, Pittsburgh sits on an island and you only have so many ways in and out.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's an hour and then another hour home. So if you do quick math, on best case scenario, you're probably home at 7, which means you've left at 9 or 10. You've gotten there 7. So how many? You have probably 10 hours wrapped up.
Yeah.
When you could sit at home and watch that game in the comfort of your living room on your recliner. You could go to your refrigerator, get whatever you want, eat whatever you want, whenever. You don't have to fight concessions, pay a lot of money to buy a beverage of your choice, and a popcorn or a sandwich or a hot dog, whatever you decide to buy there. But you're into it for that. Then you got the seats, and then God forbid you're sitting there and you've got a couple drunk fans behind you who are yelling obscenities at the other team, or they're getting into an altercation with one another. And if you have your family there, they're like, did I pay how much money for these seats to put up with this? And sadly, that happens. So the point is, when you break it all down and you have all that money spent, and you just said, how much money do you spend between tickets and concessions? That's what, even, I'll be conservative, but if you have 4 people, the tickets are 100 a piece, and that's low. It's probably more than that, but say a couple hundred a ticket, you're going to have, between concessions and parking, you'll have could have potentially $1,000 easily tied up in that, or something close to that. And then you got the time of sitting in traffic, walking to your car, parking.
Yep.
It's like, okay. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to be there to feel and get into the game and the people, that's great. But at home, you can watch the replays. If the game isn't any good, you can slide over to another game, especially if you have the package, the NFL package, and you could watch that game and other games if you want that multi-view screen.
Yeah.
If you're so motivated, but the point is,
but they're still making great money.
They're making
what?
Buku money.
You might want that, and now people have all that streaming type things right on their phone.
Right on their phone.
So they're in the stadium, the game terrible. They'll start watching somebody else, and then you don't think about it. You're like, I'll just watch something else. But think about that. You just paid thousands to watch this game. It's horrible.
Right, bad
now
game.
You're sitting here watching something on your phone that you could easily stay at home and just watch.
And just watch it in the comfort of your house and not dealing with.
And the reason I said early, we had some friends that went to Dallas and Cleveland. I think that was just this past season, the first game of the season. Dallas played in Cleveland, and they said they left at 9, about 10 minutes after 9, and they didn't get into the stadium area until like 11:45. because of so much
because
traffic.
of the traffic.
Because Dallas is coming to Cleveland. Yep. Fan base, they're all over the place for Dallas. So it took forever to get up there. And then finally, when they got a parking spot, they had forever to walk. They said the tailgate was off the chain, so they had to get through that area. It's a big area. Come all the way up that walk. And, so that at the new stadium, they're trying to, I was reading and seeing some of the things they're trying to prevent how they're going to do that, because they know they're going to have a certain way for the tailgaters and then another area, and which might be smart, but that's a lot of time, effort, and money. And most importantly, that you've taken out of your pocket, and then get there and have a terrible game. Or it rained. I think in that game they said it rained some in that Cleveland. It was opening game. See, it's nice and warm, but it
rained.
Mm-hmm. So, it's just too much.
Yeah. And then if you take the games, now Cleveland will solve that problem with the Dome.
Yeah.
So at least going to games in December, November, you won't be, sitting out in brutally cold weather.
Right.
And then there's snow flurries and everything else in Cleveland, as you've seen, especially some of those Monday night games.
I tell you, I know you love that and everything, but I'll miss that. I hate that some of the stadiums, even if you go back to old Municipal, but I used to hate to miss that, seeing the stadium shake, seeing the snow come down. You can't even see anybody. That last game that I remember with Jameis Winston quarterbacking, they was playing Pittsburgh.
I think it was Pittsburgh.
You almost couldn't
that
see.
Was the snow.
Yeah, and that was on either a Monday or Thursday night.
I think it was a Monday nighter. I think it was one of those. It was a primetime game. At night.
Yes, for sure. It was at night, and that thing was a snowstorm that you hadn't seen in a long time. And I miss that, because that used to be, the old days when you went to Metropolitan Stadium in Minnesota. That was brutal. And they used to always get home field advantage because they made sure they won during the regular season. And, man, 10 below, they're playing in all kind of stuff.
Bud Grant wouldn't let the players wear gloves.
No, and he'll be out there in just a sweater.
No, he'd be out there in a sweater and
and his ball cap on. That's it. That was insane back then. But, guys are they're not used to that. So you won't see that today. A lot of things are made comfortable for them. So, and it is, and it's good for the fans. But I'm, as a player in that age of playing, I love the weather games sometimes.
Yeah,
I love playing them, seeing them. Yep.
Well, Buffalo still has that in their stadium. They didn't go to a dome.
No, they sure didn't.
Saturday Morning Sports Page. We're going to be back right after this quick timeout on Western Reserve Radio.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Are you tired of switching apps just to catch your favorite shows and live events? Say hello to the iMedia1 Network app, your one-stop destination for streaming and everything that matters. From national sports to exclusive local content, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast are now all in one place, anytime, anywhere. Download the free iMedia1 Network app on iOS and Android and unlock the future of sports audio in the palm of your hand. The iMedia1 Network, your sports app in the Valley. Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
Sherman Gillums Jr., Paralyzed Veterans of America.
For more than 70 years, Paralyzed Veterans of America has helped hundreds of thousands of veterans get all the benefits they have earned.
Al Kovac Jr., Paralyzed Veterans of America.
We provide one-on-one support tailored to your individual needs, including healthcare advocacy, benefits support, and career assistance.
For more information, call 1-800-424-8200 or visit pva.org. A public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Saturday Morning Sports Page back. I'm Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. We're just talking a little off air. Seidler was the previous owner of the San Diego Padres. Boy, do I want to say the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
But sadly, he passed in 2023, and that evidently that did trigger a legal battle between his widow and his siblings over the control of the team. Then 2 years later, John Seidler, serving as the chairman, announced that it was exploring the possibility to sell the team. Mm-hmm. So, again, he will basically take on Peter Seidler was the late owner. I'm assuming John was his brother, and they had made the decision to sell the team. The Padres have a payroll of $200 million, over $200 million, and we'll see what they ultimately do. It looks like they've got. Although their payroll isn't going anywhere soon because they've locked in long-term money with Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis, Jackson Merrill, Xavier Bogaerts, Joe Musgrove, and Yu Darvish. So Petco Park is where they play their games. It's one of the nicest parks in Major League Baseball. And they have set attendance records while serving as the destination. It's in downtown San Diego. Nice that was area. Where there was a big push. The Chargers wanted to be in downtown San Diego. Mm-hmm. They wanted to move from their old location, and they could never get an agreement with San Diego, the city. And so there was that dispute, and ultimately they decided to move up 60 miles north to L.A. Mm-hmm. and play in the big gazebo SoFi Stadium.
Right.
So San Diego Chargers are no longer there.
Yeah. I wonder will they ever
go back?
Yeah.
Well, probably doubtful, just because, although sadly they have no fan base. We've talked about this many times, how really the Chargers, who we still call San Diego Chargers, even though they actually were the LA Chargers when they first got in the AFL back in 1960 for 1 year. Mm-hmm. But the point is, will they ever go back to San Diego? And it probably would appear not, because unless there's a new ownership would come in and buy the team from Spanos, mm-hmm. which I don't think is going to happen, because even though they have no fan base in L.A. and haven't ever really had the fan base in L.A., and the people the fans aren't driving up to SoFi to watch the team. So every time the Chargers are playing at home, it's really a road game, because the opposing team, especially if it's like Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, all the fans are buying up those tickets, and it becomes a quasi home game for the opposing team.
Yeah, it happens a lot
up there. So
it used to happen for the Rams too. Now they're getting better.
Yeah,
you can see now it's starting to flip. But I see that happen. The Chargers, I think they just basically said, I'm not going to the game just for the reason because they moved. You know, it got something to do because it's only an hour up the road, hour and 20 minutes, 15 minutes, right up the road. But they're not coming. You would think if you've seen how they was in old Jack Murphy, I think that's what it was, Jack Murphy Stadium. My goodness, that was another stadium you'd be rocking. That thing be rocking. They'd sell that out. I don't care if they were losing or not back in the day. They always had that thing filled. And not to see that many come up the way is letting me know that a lot of angry folks, you know, that this, especially old-time Charger fans, they're not going up there. No. You know, not in droves. So, you know, it's tough for them. It's tough for them to play in that conditions. But, yeah, their fan base is not growing as quickly as the Rams is in that area. We'll see, though. If they can put together a great season, be in contention for that AFC West, a lot of times that, you know, just like anybody else, they might jump on the bandwagon and all of a sudden they're back. We are back, Chargers fans, because they want to see them win, you know, and I understand. Losing and leaving, that doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. And that's a lot of the problem. Yeah, Jack Murphy, they called it the Murph.
Yep.
Then they changed it to Qualcomm Stadium.
Yeah.
And then they renamed it the SDCCU Stadium.
Yeah.
That was back in, that was for the San Diego County Credit Union. They renamed it 2017. And then the rights expired in December of 20. The demolition of now San Diego Stadium began in December of 2020.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
it was demolished as of March 22nd of 2021. So the stadium is no longer there. So the debate out there is obviously, do the Chargers look like they're ever going to move back? No, they should.
But probably.
We talk about it all the time. But they wanted a downtown stadium, and that's where the Riff came in.
Yeah, that would fit too downtown.
Yep,
it really would. That'd been perfect.
Perfect.
I'm telling you,
if they could have somehow figured out a way of putting the stadium downtown in San Diego, close to where the Padres play, but evidently it wasn't. You know, they could not do that. So, bottom line is,
poof, gone.
Chargers sold. The Padres sold. They're finalizing the deal for about $3.9 billion. We opened up with that. So that's where we are today with the stadium. With the, what always amazes me with these sports teams is the money that the owners have and are willing to pay for these teams. The Mets were sold in 2020 for $2.4 billion. And here, San Diego is just sold for close to $4 billion.
Up and away, the money goes.
So, last night, Dave Clark, are you surprised by the games? The play-in games didn't really. I hate to say this, but the reality is the play-in games, the NBA playoff games, didn't mean anything.
No,
because Portland got in, Phoenix got in, and I think at the time Phoenix was a 7 seed, Portland was the 8 seed. Well,
actually, this stayed just like
they just flipped.
Yeah, that's
Phoenix was the 8, Portland's a 7.
Yeah,
Phoenix will go ahead and play OK City, and Portland will play the San Antonio Spurs. In the East, I believe Orlando was the 8 seed. Philly was the 7 seed.
Yeah.
And that's where they are now. Orlando blew out Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. They was on them early, too.
And that was, that game was over, like, after the first quarter, it was over.
Yeah, I mean, it was up 38 to 12
it was 30,
or something like that, 14.
I think I looked it up, having this, I think 37-16 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, it was bad.
And it just went down. It was just downhill. It was 30 points the whole game.
Yeah.
And they won by 31 points. So, but Orlando ended up the 8th seed. They have to play Detroit, and Philly gets to play Boston, which brings back old
days,
old rivals.
And that you have Boston has to play well. They can't
Yes,
go in
they
there
will.
fooling around.
No.
That's a little sneaky little team.
They are.
If you don't play well, you may be looking at being down in the series. So you got to be ready to play them.
Well, let's look at these first round series right now. Let's give our at least let's go ahead and predict our first round. Let's start with today, Toronto-Cleveland series. That's going to start us off. Cleveland basically a 3 seed taking Toronto the 6 seed on. 1 o'clock. Who do you favor in the series, Dave Clark? And then how many games?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards Cleveland, but the Raptors are another dangerous team to watch out. But I'll say 6 and take Cleveland.
Yeah, I like the Cavs. I think it'll be an interesting series. If you're betting, DraftKings has the Cavaliers 8.5-point favorites. It's home in Cleveland today at 1 o'clock. Again, game on Prime, so Amazon Prime is going to give us this game. I agree. I think I'll take the Cavs in the series, and I could see I'll take Cavs in 5. Let's go to Minnesota at Denver. Today, 3:30. That's the next game up. Denver's a 6.5-point favorite. Who do you like in this series?
I think this is another 6-gamer, but I'll take Denver.
Yeah,
it's the experience in those games. I just think that'll happen. They got to add a couple pieces in Minnesota to go with Anthony Edwards, and I think they will challenge big time.
Yeah, I'll also take Denver 5. Let's go to Atlanta and New York. At New York. I'm a Knicks fan.
Me too, but I'm consistent with my picks. I'm going to go the same way.
You going to take Knicks in 6?
Yep, same thing. Because I think the Hawks is another young team with some young talent. They may not have experience yet, and they athletic and they could play.
I'll tell you what.
I thought they was going to fall apart, didn't you? The Hawks, when they got rid of Trae Young and all that, they got better. Way better.
Yeah, when you look at the Hawks here, and if you take the Hawks, I believe, they've won, I believe, they've won like 17 out of 20. If you look at their last, I mean, the Hawks lost. If you're a Knicks fan, which I am, and I see this team, I'm worried because Knicks don't need a long drawn out. But right now, the Atlanta Hawks, they had really a bad patch and they look terrible. If you look at their record, they looked really bad in December. But they kind of caught fire, especially February 22nd on. They lost to Miami February 20th, but since February 22nd, they've basically only lost 4 games.
Okay.
So, I mean, bottom line is, I think I'll take the Knicks, but I think it goes 7. I think the Knicks are going to be, and this is not what the Knicks want. I'm concerned with the New York Knicks because I don't think their defense is that good. They don't seem to play defense. They shoot a lot of threes. That kind of concerns me too. And it's a different team. The record is almost identical to what it was last year, but the way they played the game it's a different way they play in that they don't play a lot of defense. They shoot a lot more threes. They take advantage of weaker teams. The only thing that concerns me with the Knicks too is, although I love Brunson, it just seems like he gets so ball centric. He's pounding the ball, and the other guys have a tendency to stand around and watch him play. Especially in the fourth quarter, they seem to just rely on him. And I think Atlanta's going to give them more problems than what a lot of Knicks fans like. Yep. I think the Knicks will survive Atlanta.
Yeah, it could go 7. I just say 6 just because of the experience, but they play a lot of isolation offense, which that's why you'll see if they isolate for somebody, if it's for Brunson, then he'll be the one pounding. If they do that high-low screen is up so that Catman can go ahead and shoot a 3 or something because he can shoot them, they'll do that. And sometimes they get such in a rut of doing that so much, it bogs the offense down. And sometimes when they have a nice little lead, teams come back because of that. And if they just free-flowing and move that basketball, I think they'll have a opportunity to win a little bit easier if they move that ball. And it also create the opportunities to play defense because when you're doing that down screen, guy coming up and shooting a 3, long rebound, other team is off and running. You never can set up any kind of defense. And that's what they don't want to get into, that running game with the young Atlanta Hawks who can run. So that's they get in that rut, they could be in trouble. So I think the first game is real important because you come in there and be sluggish, and they come in there and steal one, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I kind of think the Knicks are going to have if there's an upset in the first round, I would not be surprised if the Knicks got beat in the first round. I think that they will survive. I think this is going to be a tougher series than what they think or what some people think. Because Atlanta, I think I counted real quick, they were like 19-5 in their last 24 games. Yeah. They're playing good. They're playing good ball, and I hate to say they traded Trae Young, and I hate to say I think the team got better.
Yeah, well, it did because they brought more younger guys in there at other positions. It was a good trade for both teams, really, but getting that because he almost had to be dominant to get the ball, score for him. With this one now, they got all these young guys they drafted, and then they picked up some in the trade, and now they getting scoring from all kind of areas, and that's just made the team much better.
Yeah,
because they're all engaged now because they know they'll run. They'll run and get these guys on the wing if they shoot the 3 or straight to the basket. So, I mean, I think it's gonna be a tough series too. Now, maybe New York will show us something different. That'll be nice if they can get rid of that team. That's the team you want to just get rid of because they can be pesky.
Yeah, I have a bad feeling about I really have a not a good feeling, and I will not be overly surprised if the Knicks don't get beat in the first round by the Atlanta Hawks.
Well, it'll be some. Well, I think if they lose regardless and not get to
they need to get
Eastern Finals.
Yeah,
there's going to be some shake-up again on that roster.
Yeah, because the reality is too, a lot of experts out there really believe that the Knicks will have to get almost to the NBA Finals, or to your point, at least the conference finals.
Mm-hmm.
But also, when you look at the landscape of the Eastern Conference, this is the next year, realistically, to get to the NBA Finals, because Indiana's out of the picture. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Atlanta Hawks, okay, if you really look at they'll play Boston next, unless, well, again, we'll get to that because maybe I think Boston will get by Philly, but that could be a tough series.
Watch it.
Yeah, watch that team. Watch Tyrese Maxey because he's a player. And if Embiid can come back from his appendicitis, now the question is when we'll get to this because if he can play and give them some minutes, and then with Tyrese Maxey, and one thing with Boston will keep the team in the game if they don't make their threes because. How many times have we watched the Boston Celtics, and they did last year against the Knicks, they fall in love with the three-pointer, and they start shooting and heaving that up, And if they're not making their threes, the other team can get back into the game. I saw them play Cleveland last year. Same thing happened to them. They had a big lead. Boston couldn't make their free throws. Cleveland came back and won the game. Again, time and time again, the Boston Celtics will keep the other team in the game. They don't make those threes. Philadelphia is a kind of team. If I'm a Boston fan, I don't really want to see Philly because I think Philadelphia could be just a problem. I mean, granted, it brings back the old Dr. J, Larry Bird back in the day in the 80s, and people love that. Man, it's a classic matchup.
Right.
And you had Andrew Toney and Sedale Treat, especially when he knocked out Danny Ainge in the one game.
Yeah.
But
I think people loved that.
That was actually funny because it was Danny
Ainge was aggravating.
Right, he was aggravating the heck out of. Well, the thing with Sedale Treat, he was always laid back. He never said.
That's why I know you had to say
something
and did
whatever
something.
Ainge said to him because
said something that wasn't
made him snap it. Because I used to watch him play. I actually liked those Sixer teams with Maurice Cheeks and Andrew Toney, and I liked Sedale Treat. And I used to watch those games and Moses Malone, and he was actually laid. He seemed like a good player. Never said anything. You know what I mean? He played hard, but I don't think he did a lot of trash talking, and he always kind of seemed like a quiet guy.
Yeah.
But whatever Ainge said and did to him, he snapped. But I don't think he was thrown out of that game back then.
I can't remember him being thrown out, but he went off.
Oh, no, he just hit him with a straight right. I think it was a straight right hand to the chin. And Danny Ainge was still talking trash as he was falling down to the court because Sedale just hit him straight, like here to here. And it was just a quick, I think it was like a right hand, straight right hand, knocked him, got him right here on the chin, and old Danny Ainge went down on the court and he was talking trash the whole time.
Yeah, he was constantly talking.
And that was it. Like Sedale Treat just did that. He didn't get it in, and everyone just looked at him, and then he went by his business.
Hey, I remember that.
I remember that game.
Yeah, but when you get guys like that to react, something's wrong.
Something happened.
And I remember something in a Boston series too. Mo Chiefs getting in it with somebody. He's another hard player. Don't say one thing. But he was upset that game about something I forgot against the Celtics. But that was an intense series, and that's the one thing about it. Intense.
Yeah, I always liked those. I actually always liked those Sixer teams. I liked what's his name, and I always thought to myself, when I watched that thing with him, I thought to myself, I was looking at it and I go, yeah, it was April 6th of 1986. He said Sedale Treat punched guard Danny Ainge, staggering him with the right hook. At least I called it. I had right hook. I thought it was a straight right hook. After a physical altercation, Ainge went down, appearing out on his feet, following a push and shove incident. Oh, he did. So they did eject Sedale Treat. He was ejected and fined. So he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can watch the video on YouTube. By the way, they have that on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm sure they would.
To bring back old times.
Yep. That's a series that'll be tight. And, they need Embiid because I tell you, they managed his time the correct way. He's playing good during the season.
Well, and that's what I mean. He's very skilled. And if he can be healthy enough.
Yeah.
He's dangerous.
That's why they did an excellent job. I don't know how they did it, but they did it perfectly. How they managed his time. And then he had something like this coming. He couldn't. That's a physical thing that comes up. I mean, no way he can handle that.
Appendicitis is what it is. You could die from that.
Yeah,
so that's something obviously you have to have, and that's not a question. Question is, will Joel? We'll have to look this up. Will Joel Embiid? Because I think if he can play, and he can be really, ready to play and close to, 75 to 80%. I think they could be dangerous.
Yeah.
And I know the Celtic fans, and what always cracks me up is like people talk about, well, when the Celtics play the Knicks next round. Because I listen to Mad Dog Russo, and he likes to jump ahead. And I thought, wait, pump the brakes on that.
Yeah,
because I know people have a tendency, because the NBA has a tendency to be chalky.
Mm-hmm.
But this year with these playoffs, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. Both favorites could lose. The
Right.
Knicks and the Celtics, it could.
It could.
If things fall the right way, it could.
And I don't necessarily... I think that these games these series could be six or seven games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think they're going to be, I could be wrong. I usually am, but I don't think you're going to have at least some of these series. I don't think you're going to get the 4-game sweep.
Yeah.
I don't think, I'll be shocked. I think Philadelphia could take Boston to at least 6, maybe 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't rule out Philadelphia pulling that upset.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was thinking 6 with the Celtics. If Embiid can't play, then I think they can do it in 5 games. I don't think they have enough backing offensively to do it. Even though they got some good young players, Philly. They do mixed in with some veterans, so they could give you what you want. But I think they definitely need Embiid healthy, and he could make that series stretch out some more. Because, I always thought Maxey was a good player anyway coming up. When he was in high school, they used to show. But to be at the level as quickly as he got, he came in the league not afraid at all. You knew he's a young kid, but he just wasn't afraid at all. You see now, he is one of the better guards.
He is.
And he plays both sides of the ball, too.
Yeah,
he's not just scoring, he plays
player.
Defense, too.
Yeah, he can shoot too.
Yes,
he can. He drove the Knicks. What was it, a couple years ago, when the Knicks had them in the playoffs? The Knicks were so lucky to beat them.
Yeah,
Tyrese, he was just lighting up. Again, this is what I love about playoff basketball. These games, these series are going to be really great. Now, Embiid is not listed. He's not going to play initially because he's still getting over the surgery, but they're not ruling him out for later on in the series.
Yeah.
So as far as these opening rounds, we'll get to, I think some of these opening round games to me are going to be great TV.
Yeah, it's going to, like I said, some dangerous series. Yeah, I think some teams are going to get upset, could be upset. They could be.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, and we'll get, like I said, we'll get to Houston and LA next on the docket. Then we'll get to the rest of the playoffs here, and then we'll get to the draft. We got a lot to get to today. Busy day.
Yep.
Sunday morning sports page back after this. Western Reserve Radio.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk.
Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local live events. Tune in and be a part of their live weekly shows, as well as all of the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the GDFL. Find them at westernreserveradio.com. Tune in and the Live 365 app to be a part of the area's sports conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio and on Twitter at WR_radio.
The Village Tavern's been a beloved local landmark in Hubbard, Ohio for nearly a century, and now it's better than ever. Recently renovated and still serving up the same warm hospitality, the Village Tavern is your go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and a laid-back atmosphere. Whether you're stopping in for dinner, catching up with friends, or just looking to relax, you'll enjoy a full menu of American favorites, rotating drink specials, and friendly service that makes every visit memorable. Be sure to visit the Village Tavern at 746 North Main Street in Hubbard, right next to Repair That Glass. To learn more, go to villagetavern3.com.
Saturday Morning Sports Page back. 330-707-4202. Get in and talk sports. So we were talking about NBA, and we're doing this predictions in the first round. Dave Clark, we left off, we kind of sidetracked, we jumped ahead of ourselves. We got talking about Philadelphia and Boston. Let's go back to get a little bit on track. Houston's playing L.A. Now, I guess the question we have with L.A., everybody's questioning is if, I heard Charles Barkley yesterday on Mad Dog Russo, who was just, Charles is just great to listen to. And he says that if Luka and Reeves are healthy, he would take them in the series. But if they don't have Luka, he goes, they can't beat Houston. They need Luka Doncic. You can't rely on, the 41-year-old LeBron James. He needs help.
Right.
You need Luka, obviously, and you also need Austin Reeves. And he says if you don't have either one of those guys, he goes, they're not going to be able to. Houston needs a point guard. They don't really have a point guard on that team. That's what's going to hurt them in any series. Now, they'll probably get by L.A. if Luka can't play, or if Luka's really trying to play hurt with a hamstring, and you've played, that's a horrible injury to have because that could just be a nagging injury. But if Luka can play and be productive, and if they can get Austin Reeves back, they have a shot against Houston. But if those guys can't play, I think Houston will win this series probably in 5 games if there's no Luka.
Yeah. I was just going to pick Houston outright, period.
Oh, okay.
And I was going to say in 7.
Okay.
It might be that, because I thought maybe even if he starts out playing, or any of them, is any of them going to get banged up in the series? And I think that will nullify the situation of not having a point guard. I tell you, if Houston had, what is his name? Van Cleef? No, it's not Van Cleef. Is that it? He's been out the entire season as their point guard, and he was so dangerous the previous year during the playoffs. Yeah. He's been out the entire year. That guy, if they had him, I would. I can't Van Cleef, but he won the championship in Toronto.
Toronto. He was
he was with.
He was with the Raptors
when Kawhi won it. That's when he was the starting point guard for the Raptors, and they need that guy. That's the thing, and they just don't have a good point guard. So guys are playing out of position, playing that position, point forwards, anything, So that hurts them at times. And
Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, that's it.
He's 32. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna take
torn
them.
ACL in the mini camp.
Mm-hmm.
He's out. Have not playing. You're right.
He hasn't played this entire
Had
season.
they had him in Houston,
yeah, they'd be dangerous because he knows how to settle it down,
Yep.
score if he needs to because he can score, but he knows how to distribute
Fred.
that ball, and he's a threat. So all that does is open up, mid-range game for Kevin Durant, which is kind of unstoppable. You can get that. So it's just so many different things they can do with him on the court. They can't do it with these other guys. So that's where the LA could take advantage. But this is probably my prediction was going to be 7 games with no
with Luka and Austin. You thought that
I just said somebody's winning in 7 because that's how close I think this is a good matchup right here.
Well, it doesn't look like Luka or Austin Reeves will be playing in the first round.
Oh, that's what it said.
Said here.
Oh, then
I'm looking at
I'm
looking at various things that it says here. This is the Silver Screen and Roll publication, and they're basically saying don't expect Luka and Austin Reeves to return for the first round.
Well, I tell you something.
And then I keep looking around, and it looks like they're not going to be playing.
Well, I tell you, if the if the Lakers could pull that out without both of them, and LeBron can play at a certain level, his star power will go to the roof there because there'll still be people denying, saying this and that. But if he can win not having both of those guys and they can win this series, that'd be unbelievable. I don't care what his stats would be. If he's in the game and these guys got to play without them and win, I think that'd be one of the greatest accomplishments.
Oh, by far. Yeah.
That'd be a great
That would be
accomplishment
unbelievable.
against a team like that. Oh, man.
Yeah, it looks like, but the New York Post has a good article. It basically says, don't sleep on the Lakers, though, either. It says basically, well, I threw that in. It says shorthanded Lakers are underdogs against the Rockets, but can't be dismissed. So they're basically saying don't dismiss the Lakers,
right?
Just based on you don't have Reeves and Luka, that they could still be a thorn in Houston's side and it could make it a series.
Mm-hmm.
Now the question is, can they win the series? They might take Houston to maybe 6 games, 7 games, and maybe they could have potentially there where they would have the home. They have home court though. The Lakers do because they're the 4 seed.
Mm-hmm.
So they could come down to winning Game 7 in L.A. Houston, I think, would want to do away with the Lakers at least in 6 games. Obviously, they want to do away with them in 4 games if they can.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want – the last thing Houston would want is to get into a real close series with the Lakers and end up they need to win Game 7 in L.A.
Right.
To advance.
Yep.
And then, obviously – then you don't know what a Game 7 on a home court. You never know how that's going to play out.
Yeah, right.
And as we said, Houston doesn't have the point guard, so maybe the Lakers can make this series relatively interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Houston had the point guard,
Van Fleet.
Van Fleet.
Yep, that'd be a bit.
Van Fleet. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. Fleet. It's Van Fleet.
It's Van Fleet.
Mm-hmm.
So, bottom line is, who do you like it overall, and how many games?
Well, in the Houston?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Houston, and I will say it's like I said. I'm thinking it might go 7, maybe. Just leave it at that. I'll leave it at 7.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it at 7.
Yeah, I'll say.
But it's probably gonna be shorter without those guys.
I'll take Rockets in 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think they win Game 6 on their home floor. I think the Lakers are going to steal a couple games from Houston, even without Luka and Austin Reeves. But I think LeBron and the guys will steal a couple games from them.
Uh-huh.
And I think Houston wins it, but I think it's going to go 6 games.
Yeah, it's that series. I wish they both was at full strength.
Yeah, I do too.
And all of them was playing because I think that'd be a great series.
If Houston had their point guard, Van Fleet, and Lakers had Luka and Austin Reeves, that would be a real interesting series.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about it already, but the Houston at the Lakers is at 8:30 tonight. That's ABC. That's network TV tonight.
The Lakers.
The Lakers are on network TV with Houston.
Mm-hmm.
That's 8:30 tonight. The Knicks play Atlanta on Prime Video at 6 o'clock.
It's cracking me up.
I know. But I have Prime, so I don't care. So I'll watch. I'll have the game.
Too. I mean, I can watch it. Just funny hearing that.
I know. Tomorrow, though, is a good day because the games are all on network TV.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia at Boston. That's 1 o'clock tomorrow, ABC network.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you talking about taking it back. That's how it's always been. Early Sunday.
Yeah.
1 o'clock
first
game. Remember back in the, oh my goodness.
Go back a little bit farther.
It used to be 12. Might have even been 12, wasn't it? They started one of them.
Well, the old days, way back. Time machine, hop in the time machine and go back. When I was like 9 or 10, which I just was enamored with NBA, with the Celtics. I like the Knicks, but I like the Celtics. I still know the team in the back of my head. I could tell you who the starters and Havlicek coming off the bench. It was Casey Jones, Sam Jones.
Yep.
Casey, great playmaker. Sam Jones could just shoot the eyes out of the basket. One of the greatest shooters of all time in my eyes. Russell, Satch Sanders. They had Tommy Heinsohn and Havlicek coming off the bench. And Havlicek was just a man in motion. Maybe maybe Bird before Bird, just the way Havlicek played the game at 6'5". But they played Philly every Sunday, it seemed, at 3:30 on ABC Wide World of Sports.
Right.
Chamberlain and the 76ers. Mm-hmm. And I loved Chamberlain. They had Luke Jackson and Hal Greer and Chet the Jet Walker.
Yeah.
On those Philly teams.
15, Hal Greer was a tough.
Hal Greer was a great. He played his high school. He played college at Temple, and then he played for the 76ers. Hal Greer was a great player.
Yeah.
God, he could shoot, play.
Tough too.
Tough player.
Yep, I like that.
And Chet the Jet Walker.
One of my favorite guards back in the day.
Hal Greer.
Yeah, and probably my favorite guard back in the day. You would think of all the others, but this one I just like him because I identify with his size. And that's Calvin Murphy.
Oh, Calvin Murphy
probably was one of the toughest guys. I mean, he would get into scuffles with 6'8" guys.
Oh,
they would get out of it. They would get away from him. They get away from that guy. It was like
Calvin
something
Murphy.
wrong with him. Yeah, they get away from him. He fight anybody.
Him,
Van Leer, and those guys.
He didn't care.
Those guys didn't care.
No,
him, Van Leer, or Jerry Sloan are guys that they just lose their mind. So you just don't. I don't care how big you is. They will take you on. They didn't care nothing about
Norm
size.
Van Leer was just a maniac. He was great, and he used him and Sloan, that backcourt. People just had to cringe when you had to play those guys.
Yeah, that might have been the toughest and roughest backcourt.
And Bob Love was the Butterbean. Bob Love was the forward.
Smooth. Yeah, so smooth. Score
those
like
old
ever.
Chicago. And was it Dennis Autry was the center?
Center. Yep. Love number 10 at forward. I forgot who else.
Look at those old Chicago Bull teams were just physical.
Physical.
You knew you were. Maybe it was Autry with the Suns. I got to look up. They had a.
Yeah, because he did go to the Suns.
Yeah, he did go to the Suns, but I think he's with Chicago.
Yeah, that was.
And that was those Chicago teams. I know we've kind of evolved there, but yeah, those Chicago teams were just tough. But you get back to the old Philly teams. So that's it. Those teams in the '60s. See, this is what always kind of makes me like crazy sometimes. These people cry like, well, Russell's got all the championship. Chamberlain was a loser. No, those playoff teams, those playoff series between Russell and Chamberlain were close, and they were wars.
And the Celtics had the better
and
overall
the Celtics
team.
were the overall better team.
Yep.
However, in 1967 was the year, and people do believe, that Wilt Chamberlain is part of two of the greatest teams in NBA history.
Yeah.
67 Philadelphia 76ers won the title, and the 72 Lakers that won 33 straight games.
Right.
They believe that those were the two best teams of all time. Granted, now they're a Celtics fan that would probably argue that and say, no, they'd rattle off a couple Celtic teams that were better, and you could argue that, that's great radio. But the point is, Chamberlain and Russell had wars. And every year it was Philadelphia and Boston in the 60s fighting, and Boston would always pull it out because they just had a better team. Slightly.
Yeah.
But they just had a couple better players.
And that's why, and when I say that, I'm talking about I thought they were deeper. They can go
They
so
did.
deep. They had so much.
Like Larry
off the bench.
Siegfried, the Celtics had Siegfried and Havlicek, and then Heinz had retired, and then Havlicek became a starter. But they did have, backups that were playing pretty good.
Yep.
But that's when they played 82 games. They didn't make a lot of money. And they played hurt. They didn't travel. They had crappy travel. They flew coach. There was no, Gulfstream jet taking them anywhere.
Right.
Or they traveled by either a bus or a train. And those guys just played every game.
Right.
All of them. And they didn't make a lot of money. And they would roll out Casey Jones, and those guys would show up every game, and Sam Jones could just shoot literally the eyes out of the basket. But those teams, those 76er teams with Hal Greer, Chet Walker, Wilt Chamberlain, Luke Jackson, who was the big power forward. He was like about 6'10" and about 240 up, but he was coming off he would fill in for Wilt, but then he was the power forward, big, great player, very good player. And you had Hal Greer and Chet Walker and Billy Cunningham then.
Yeah.
Came later.
He was good too.
And he was a great player too. But those Philadelphia and Boston, that's why people always say, well, Philadelphia just, they didn't win those titles. But people don't realize how they used to fight the Celtics every year, and it was a war.
Yeah.
And Chamberlain and Russell would go at it like nonstop.
Yep. That's just how it was.
That was the way it was back then. But, that always been a hot rival. So I know we've gone back in history a little bit, but you have to. When Boston is playing Philadelphia tomorrow at noon or at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. How are you not going to bring it up?
How do you not?
I mean, I just think think about it.
That's like one of the greatest NBA rivals of all time, I think.
Well, if you were there to be able to see those games, it's like anything. When I do it in football.
Right.
Dallas and Green Bay would play a game, and it's in the playoffs. Immediately, I think about the Ice Bowl and everything else. Watch that. Those were rivals every year. So it was a big difference. So I actually, I think that just comes back automatically. It's an automatic thing, and that's what happened. You think about that series, you got to, and those teams, it's like in a circle of Philly, Celtics, like you're talking about, the Knicks, Celtics. The Knicks, Sixers. It's just like that used to be something.
The Knicks and the old Celtics fought, and the Knicks got better. And in 1969, everybody thought that was the Knicks' year, and they opened up. They played Boston in the second round. They got beat in the playoffs by it was Russell's last year, and they just reached back. And he was, Russell, I think, was 35 years old back then. And then he ultimately retired. That was his 69. They beat the Lakers in the playoffs and won. And then they ended up, Russell retired.
Yeah.
And then they were downhill for a little bit. Then they got Dave Cowens, and then they went that, direction. They had a year or two there where they kind of, were getting it together. They drafted Dave Cowens and still had Havlicek. And JoJo White then came on the scene.
He was on there too.
And then that team
became
took off.
Great.
Yep. They won the 74 and the 1976 NBA titles.
Right.
And they had a classic, probably one of the best, my eyes, one of the best finals of all time was when they beat Jabbar and the Milwaukee Bucks in 7 games. And Jabbar made the hook shot in Boston Garden Game 6 and won the game to force Game 7. And that's kind of like when you start talking about great players, I always think that, like, Jabbar to me is always in an argument of the greatest player. Like you get Jordan, LeBron. I always loved Jabbar.
You got to still put them because they had to change rules.
They changed
change
rules.
Things for guys like that.
Right. And Jabbar to me was just
and he had one of the most. I only seen his now. For me, I seen his shot blocked twice. Once by Chamberlain, tipped out of bounds, and once by what's his name?
Not Dominique Wilkins.
No, it's a center. One of our older guys.
Nate Thurman.
There it is.
Nate Thurman.
Nate Thurman.
Yeah, Nate Thurman. Yeah, you see,
that's the only guy that I ever seen came in from the side was able to get it. You couldn't block it. You couldn't.
Right. You could not.
No.
And that's the thing you miss now because you don't have center play.
Right.
We grew up, and it's just 3 points. We'll get to that, but back then when you watched those guys play, you had great center play. And Nate Thurman to me was one of the most underrated players of all time.
And undersized at that position, kind of, but it didn't matter.
But he was so strong. He was built. He had those. He had that. He had the greatest muscles. The biceps was just. He was about 6. Look him up. But he was just.
Was he 6'9", maybe 8? I don't know.
No, I think he was 6'10".
Is it okay?
But
I was wondering what they
he
listed.
was.
I didn't think he was really that.
I'd like to know. Late great Nate Thurman. He obviously had passed in 2016 at the age of 74. Born in Akron, Ohio. He played at Bowling Green. That's where he went to school, Bowling Green. And you look at him on the internet, and he's got the greatest arms, muscles. He's got the physique. It's through the roof. But Nate Thurman, they listed him at either 6'10" or 6'11". 6'11". And they said 225. He probably had 5% body fat.
Yeah.
Because Nate Thurman was absolutely just jacked, and could play. But he was so physical and he was so strong.
Yeah. So I used to like. And
he
it
would
was
play.
played in.
They have a picture of him playing Jabbar, and he used to give Jabbar fits.
Yeah.
And Jabbar said it.
Yeah, because he's tough, and then if he can get away from, because Jabbar gets you on his left hip, you're done. With the sky hook. You're not getting to it, and he's making it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like automatic. I think it was automatic. Unbelievable.
It was.
Then he started. I remember when Jabbar used to do it. Then he started doing the left hand sky hook, and then he had a jump shot too. He just was a skilled guy. So I think you say guys. Everybody can have an opinion of who's the GOAT. And I think you can always pick a lot of different guys for different situations. I mean, Jordan, I know overall the guy he was in a different kind of atmosphere of things.
Yeah, Jordan was like.
That's where Kobe took it to a different level.
Kobe, too.
Like nuts type thing. Almost. So, Jabbar wasn't that guy, but if you want to talk about the dominance, he was that guy then. Yeah. He would dominate a series. You couldn't stop him. He would score 30-something and get about 20 rebounds. You wouldn't stop Jabbar back in the day.
You could not, no.
It was just forget it. It was over.
I used to, like I said, you'd watch. Oh, by the way, Jabbar turned 79 this past week. Happy birthday to Kareem. A little bit later.
79 years old.
79. And he's had a lot of health
I know.
issues. Like leukemia, prostate cancer. He's got the AFib in the heart.
Yep.
So he's had his fair share of health problems with, stay healthy, Kareem, and
Yeah.
you're still one of the greatest
Oh yes,
of
no
all
question.
time.
Yeah.
Because he could still. I remember when he played at UCLA, and I remember
Well, he couldn't stop him. Yeah.
They couldn't stop him. He has 3 college NCAA championships, 3 of them.
Would they have 4 if they would allowed freshmen?
If they had freshmen, yeah, because the freshman team absolutely destroyed the
national championship team. Right?
They were
they lost that.
They
one.
lost. Texas Western, UTEP won it in '66.
Yeah,
and then because UCLA they won it in '65. They beat Cassie Russell in Michigan in '65. They didn't win in, I think, and I'll pull it up, but I know they got beat in the tournament that year. UCLA did. Mm-hmm. And then UTEP won they were an underdog against Kentucky, and they beat Kentucky and Pat Riley in the NCAA finals in 1966. Mm-hmm. The first team to have 5 starting black players to ever do it.
Right.
They upset Kentucky, won the title, but then people said they had Lou Alcindor. Mm-hmm. If he could have played his freshman year, they would have definitely won the title because they destroyed UCLA. The freshmen beat Lucius Allen and Kareem, just absolutely crushed the freshmen. I mean, they crushed the
basically you want to call it
the varsity.
Yeah,
Thank you, Dave Clark. Kareem, Lucius Allen crushed the varsity in the game, and the varsity was absolutely upset, and they were really ticked off that they just got absolutely just crushed because they couldn't do anything with Kareem. Nobody could.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he won it as a sophomore. They beat Dayton. Then the following year in '68, they beat North Carolina. Then his last senior year, they beat Purdue and Rick Mount. But they dominated those games. It's like they were not. Nobody was really, when you looked at UCLA, this is what makes Kareem such maybe the greatest, one of the greatest college player by far. He dominated everybody.
Yeah.
Right. And he couldn't dunk the ball. They changed the rule.
Yeah, they took it out.
But Kareem said that helped him.
Yeah, because it made him much better his shot. He had a great bank shot off the side. I remember that.
Yeah, he had that great bank off the side, and then they couldn't guard him, but he had to develop the hook.
Yeah.
He developed that other shot that nobody could stop, and that's what he said, because I just used it to my advantage.
Yep. And that was just, he didn't use power or anything. It was just grace and
high skill. I just have never seen a player that height, tall, that skilled, and could
especially at that time. Yeah,
at that time,
yeah.
I mean, he did it against Wilt. Mm-hmm. Now he didn't get to play against Russell because Russell retired in '69. Kareem's first year was 1970, so he missed Russell.
Right.
And it was like I said, Kareem was I still think one of the best, if not the best.
Oh yeah. So I never put those guys aside. Those guys was, they pioneers of it, and he was just unbelievable. Chamberlain was probably one of the best athletes at center position at his size and everything, because he could do so many different things.
Chamberlain was just the strongest, most athletic player at that size to play the game.
Right. Yep.
Just not even close.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Saturday morning sports page. We'll get back to the playoffs.
Maybe.
After this timeout. Western Reserve
Are you ready to hit the gridiron and make your mark? The Cleveland Cobras are recruiting players and coaches for the upcoming Premier Amateur Football League season. We're looking for passion, grit, and the relentless drive to win. Whether you're a seasoned vet or hungry rookie, your shot starts now. Join a brotherhood, build a legacy, strike with the Cobras. Follow us on Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or for league information, visit TAFLfootball.com to get started today. Team, pride, Cobras.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Want to know what I like best about high school sports? I love watching my son run on the field. I love the fact that since he's been playing high school sports, he's making better decisions. And I love knowing that with the proper equipment, education, conditioning, and coaching, high school sports here in Ohio are safer than ever before. That's something I really love.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Saturday morning sports page. Back. Dave Clark, I'll get back a little bit, but I think the thing that always got me off the track is when people start saying, well, they don't win a lot of NBA titles. Like Charles Barkley was on, Mad Dog. He doesn't have an NBA title. Neither does Patrick Ewing. But they kept running into Michael Jordan. And those teams back then were really, it's like Chamberlain didn't have a lot of NBA titles. He had 2, but he kept running into Russell. Mm-hmm. And then he had Kareem. The competition that these players had around them was unheard of. Like, these are great players that they couldn't beat. Like, Ewing could have had, and it was like close, one ball goes in instead of out. If Charles Smith can make a shot against Chicago Bulls, the Knicks win that game, probably win an NBA title.
Yeah, that would have changed things.
Patrick Ewing
couldn't put that ball back in the basket.
He couldn't put it back in.
That was unbelievable.
And then Patrick Ewing had 2 titles that he lost in Georgetown that he could have easily won.
Yeah.
He could have 3 NBA titles, 3 college NCAA titles that Kareem had, but he could have matched Kareem. They lost to North Carolina. Jordan made the last-second shot to beat him in his freshman year. Mm-hmm. Then he lost his senior year to the game that Villanova put together. Villanova shot 90% from the field. Villanova played a perfect game.
Slowed it up.
And they lost by a point.
Yep.
This is what always amazes me. People get, Patrick Ewing only has 1 title. But look what he kept running into every year. Charles Barkley the same way. Great player. Got there with Phoenix, but he kept running into Jordan.
Yeah. Yep. That's what happened.
And that's what happens.
Yeah.
But they're great players in the teams. Chamberlain, same way. They could have multiple titles in Philadelphia, but he kept running into the Celtics.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But they had a great roster. Those Philadelphia teams back in the 60s and then 70s, even the 80s with Moses Malone, they were great. Philadelphia had great basketball teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. But that's what happened. They run into that. It's always somebody that could be a thorn in your side. That's what it was. Jordan was one of them.
Jordan was the thorn in a lot of teams' sides.
Yeah. Celtics were, their team was Larry Bird. And they was a thorn in each other, Magic and Bird. Because they always had to run into each other.
Usually ran into one another.
No matter what happened, it was some years there, a few years in a row, those were the championship game every year. Those 2 teams would match up.
the years the Lakers didn't get in because they ran into the Houston Rockets.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The 81 Laker team got beat by the Houston Rockets, who got beat by the Celtics in the finals. That was the Birds' first championship. Then, and I believe in 1986, they beat the Houston Rockets. I have to look up who beat the Lakers in '86. I don't know if it was Houston or not. I can look it up. But the point is, this is what when you really watch sports, and we've watched it many, many years.
Right.
But the teams, the competition is just so brutally tough because you have great players on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
And the games are close.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the Lakers were sweeping Wilt Chamberlain every year. No, they were into 7-game wars with the Philadelphia 76ers. Russell had wars with Chamberlain. And the Sixers were a good team. It wasn't like, no. Hal Greer, we just rattled off some of those teams.
But those games was brutal.
And they were tough wars. They were brutal. They were wars.
Yep.
And the game was more physical back then because the referees didn't call, they called, but they let those guys really play.
Oh, yeah. Yep. For sure. That was the days they would let you body up guys back then, for sure.
Let's get back here a little bit. What do you think between the Celtics? We'll come back to this day and age. Get off our time. Get out of our little time machine.
Okay.
But anyway, what do you think, Dave Clark? What do you think of the Sixers and the Celtics? How many games? Who do you favor?
I'm gonna still take. I won't be surprised if we get an upset here, but I'm gonna stay shocked on them. I'm gonna go Celtics in 6 again. No Embiid, it could go in 5. I think
if they get Embiid back, and if the 76ers can get a game without Embiid. If they could steal one of these games off of Boston, and if Embiid can get back like for game 3, I think this could get. I think it could go 7.
Yeah, it's key for them to steal one of these.
I'll take the Celtics in 7. I'll go out on a limb. This could, I still think the Sixers are going to get a game here or two without Embiid. I still think with Tyrese Maxey.
Celtics better they'll get nervous.
And I think the Celtics will dump a game because they can't make a 3. Like I think what's going to happen with them with the 76ers, I will not be shocked at game 2. Celtics win game 1, but game 2 Celtics can't make a 3, and Tyrese Maxey is hot, and he makes a couple shots at the end of the game, and they pull one out.
Yeah, because when they fall in love, and those things are not falling.
They keep shooting them.
They're not going to stop.
They don't stop.
Right.
That's one thing the Celtics don't do. Yeah, for the record, in 1986, the Lakers lost the conference finals to the Houston Rockets 4-1 in 1986. And then Boston, the 86 Celtics, who some people believe might be one of the greatest teams of all time. I always love those arguments because, but that was Bill Walton, McHale. That was when Walton got back and could play. And Bill Walton, sadly, had he been able to play, he would have been an easy Hall of Famer in the NBA. Well, he's a Hall of Famer with college, but the point is, Walton would have been a great center in the NBA. Without doubt. But the injuries, but that in 86, he had his health, and that 86 Celtic team beat that Houston team who had Sampson and Akeem. And that was the Houston, maybe one of their best teams ever. Lost the NBA Finals, but that was still a great team. They lost 4-2 to the Celtics in '86.
That was a very good team.
but that was a great use of team. So I will take the Celtics in 7. I have the 76ers making this a series. I think at the end of the day, if the 76ers can pull out a game without Embiid, and if he can come back and play maybe game 3 or 4, they could be a problem for the Celtics.
Right. They definitely need him.
Right. But if Embiid can come back and play, he's unguardable. He's one of the. I mean, he's just hurt a lot, but when he plays, he's so skilled.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a great player.
Yeah,
he just has got the injuries that haunt him, but when he's healthy,
it's hard to stop.
Can't stop him.
Inside, outside, jump shots, everything.
And he passes the ball and everything.
Well, too. Yes. He's not a selfish player to just
not
throw
at
it
all.
up there.
He's like one of the complete players.
Yep.
I mean, and that's what like a lot of people don't realize. He is really a great player when he's healthy.
Yep.
And if he's healthy for this, if he can play, he's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that'll be that game is tomorrow, and that's going to be the 1:00 game on ABC. The 3:30 game on ABC tomorrow, Phoenix at OK City.
Well, scrappy Phoenix, I'm going to give them one game, and that's it. I'm going OKC in 5, and this got the chance of being a sweep, but I'm not going to do that because I think sometimes Devin Booker can cause you a lot of problems, and then they do a lot of things anyway. They got a lot of heart, Phoenix, I give it to them, so I think they might could steal one game. That's it. That's all I can give them. I'm going 5 with OKC.
I'll take OK in 4. I mean,
I could see them sweeping.
This is one series and
they're healthy.
And they're healthy.
It's gonna be
and
tough.
Shea Gillis is still the best player in the NBA, I think.
Yeah, he's just hard to stop.
He's just hard to stop. I like OK to win this maybe in 4. You might be right. Maybe Phoenix steals a game.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them one on their heart. I think they could do it, but I wouldn't be shocked of a sweep though.
No, that wouldn't shock me. I wish it would go 6 games. I like to watch basketball, but I have a feeling that OK City won't have any problem with Phoenix. It could be, again, who knows, but that's what I think. Let's move to the Orlando and Detroit series. That's tomorrow. It starts 6:30 on NBC and Peacock. So, again, network TV. You'll get to just put on NBC and watch Orlando and Detroit at 6:30.
Now, there's another one. Can Orlando, another tough, rugged team?
They are.
They are.
Physical team.
Yeah, that maybe they can get one. And that's all I can give them.
Yeah.
But they are also in the same category as the OKC. I will not be surprised if Detroit take them 4 and out.
Yeah.
You know.
You got Pistons in 5 then?
Yeah, Pistons in 5. I'm just being kind to some of these teams and don't give them a.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't be surprised if they got swept. I wouldn't be surprised if Phoenix did too.
Yeah, I got. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to take Pistons, and I think this goes 6 games.
Okay.
I think Orlando's going to steal a couple games from Detroit, but Detroit, who's a better team, will prevail.
They got everybody back. Cade is back playing and everything.
Yeah,
right?
Cade's back, so Detroit should win.
Yeah.
I think Orlando's just rough and tumble enough.
They are. They're scrappy.
They're a scrappy team. And the last one is the Portland.
There's my other sweep. I forgot who they play. Who they playing?
Now,
no, but you know what? Watch out for Danny Avila. That guy.
That's what Charles Barkley was on.
That guy's no joke. I'm trying to tell you.
Now, Charles Barkley was on Mad Dog yesterday, and he said, "Watch out for Portland."
Yeah,
he says, "Don't." He said, this team might surprise you.
Don't let Sharp be playing good
Right.
too. I used to think he was some kin to Shannon Sharp. His name
No.
is similar, but him and that Avila.
Denny Avila, who is 6'8",
hard to stop. He can score.
228. He can do anything.
Yep. And I think if you get Sharp to start hitting, he be hitting his threes. They can pull out a couple games.
See, and he's young. Sharp's only 22 years old.
Yeah, no, I think he's in his second year.
Shaden Sharp.
Yep.
He went to Kentucky.
Yep.
And he's 6'5", 210, but he could score. And you know what I think? I think San Antonio's got to kind of really watch Wemby for.
Yeah, that too.
They got to watch his minutes. They can't. I just think that, like Kevin Lockery said this, I don't like when I see big guys fall to the floor going for a ball. He goes, that makes me. I don't like big guys falling down because he thinks that the risk of injury is higher. I know what he's saying. I know what he means by it, but he says he likes Wemby. He says he could be one of the greatest players ever. He's developing.
Mm-hmm.
But Charles Barkley likes Portland. He goes, Portland's a good team, better than what people think.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, he thinks they'll make a series out of this. Now, I think he knows the Spurs will win this, but he thinks it's going to be a closer series than what people think. And that's what's the best part with these opening round series. I think this year, the teams are more evenly matched.
Right.
I think the Spurs win this.
Yeah, I'm going to 5.
But you're going to go 5?
Yeah, I think I just think Portland could squeeze one out of there, but they dangerous enough to squeeze 2. And if they do that, I don't know what can happen, because sometimes Wembley, he might get banged up because of his, sometimes that happens with him. And then sometimes he just has, skill-wise, he's fine. But something just be off sometimes. And if that happens a couple times and they pull a game, so
I'll take Spurs in 6. I think Portland will take a couple games, especially in Portland at home. And I think it's going to be kind of a rougher series. And Portland can hang with them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only series I really have, I got Cavs 5, Denver 5. You got the Cavs. What did you have Denver in? How many?
They're playing.
They're playing Minnesota.
Yes, it's 6.
And the Knicks you had in
6 too.
6, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I have like Knicks in 7, Celtics 7, and then I have the Spurs 6, Pistons 6. The only sweep is City over Phoenix. I saw Phoenix play. I think they're a good team, but I just think that City is.
Yeah, this got so much.
And
they play defense too.
When you break down the East and the West, I see like the West, really the 3 teams I think that could win the West would either be City, the Spurs, or even Denver. Mm-hmm. The Nuggets are a team. I think if you're, could be careful that the Nuggets don't win that West. They've got a title under their belt with the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they could potentially win the West. If you were to ask me who do I think is going to win the West, I think I still favor City. Mm-hmm. Even though San Antonio Spurs beat them in the regular season.
Yeah, they did.
Convincingly, Charles Barkley says that doesn't matter. Playoffs are, he's right.
Yeah, the intensity is much higher.
Much higher.
You got.
But if these teams do end up, the way it would evolve now, if we have it, the Cavaliers would basically, if they win, and we believe they will, they would ultimately take on the Pistons, and the Knicks would play the Celtics.
Boy, that'd be tough.
And that would be a war.
Series. Woo.
I'm worried about the Atlanta. Right now, I'm worried more about the Atlanta Hawks. If I'm a Knicks fan, I'll be out, Dave Clark. They would have been better off if Knicks would have been better off. They thought they were going to play Toronto, but it was so tight. Toronto won. They ended up they moved up to the 5 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And the Knicks thought they were going to be the 6 seed, but it didn't go that way. And now they play Hawks, and that's not a good matchup for the Knicks. Because I think the Hawks are playing. You got to look at the way they've played their last couple months. They've been playing really good ball.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's going to be a challenge for them for sure.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to be playing at a certain level. So maybe Mike Brown will have them ready to go to play at that level, but they're going to have to. And don't get stagnant like they do at times on
They
offense.
do.
This happens sometimes. They be
I
winning.
watched
they
them.
be flowing. They be tearing them up. Then all of a sudden, they just get bogged down. And
they don't give the ball to Towns inside a lot. They should. And I don't think Atlanta's got anybody to guard him, so they got to use Karl Anthony Towns here.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a tendency not to do that. And the Knicks, I always think the Knicks, they always play kind of to the level of the opponent sometimes, and they let the other team hang around a lot. And I watch the Knicks, and I just because I'm a hardcore fan, but they make me nervous because they don't make any game, they don't blow anybody out. They every game is. It seems every game is close.
yeah, I think they'll step up their intensity.
Right.
I mean, because they do that in the playoffs, but you can't break certain habits sometimes that you do. So they got to play with more urgency and see if they play that way and take this team as if they're the OKC. You got to play at a high level and be able to beat them young guys to keep running you until run you in the ground before you know it, you're down in the series. So they got to be ready. Yep, that is an interesting series.
Yeah,
just got to find out where we at. Are we on Prime or are we on
No, well, that'll be the challenge.
Yeah. That's what we'll be doing
right now. That's the only annoying thing.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, I don't be bothered because I got Prime, so I can watch it. I don't care. But the network, people will have to adjust. And I know that's kind of all the big controversy out there is, it's gone to streaming, the NBA having, but they got paid a lot of money.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean,
I just want to know so I know whether to watch it on the one device I got
right,
everything.
You got
or the other one. So because I can't tape on that one. So if I want to watch that game,
you gotta watch it.
The other one I could tape and see, whatever.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
You see what I'm
the
saying?
YouTube,
When they start playing,
YouTube, you could watch. You're right. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Prime,
So
I don't know if you could watch the.
Well, if I had Prime on you, I don't know if they got it on YouTube. Yeah, they do. It's on you. No, that's on Roku.
No, they got
whatever. You got to order.
You got to order it because we've got it on.
But I'm on. Mine is just on that.
We've got
thing I have.
Netflix, Peacock, and Prime, and YouTube TV.
Yeah.
And the only hassle is when something is on Prime, and then to switch, you got to get out of it to check another game. Now I have it on my tablet. I have Prime and YouTube on my tablet, so I can watch one on the tablet. I do that with football all the time. I got 2 tablets actually. I could watch multiple games going crazy. But the whole point of it is, the only thing is if you have Amazon Prime, you've got to get out of that to go to your YouTube or to go to your Peacock.
Right.
But they've got these games on NBC and ABC, at least Sunday games, so you don't have to worry. You can watch them on
that's the only
network.
thing my device doesn't have is you can go to Peacock, you can
Right.
go to Prime. I can't go to YouTube TV. It's an entity of its own. So just still got to click in between if the games on different things. But I'll be able to watch it. I'll be able to watch them because it's always intriguing, these playoff games.
Oh, yeah.
I
love this time of year.
Yeah.
I love the NBA playoffs.
And I did want some shake-up from the play-in game, but
I
it
did.
really wasn't. No drama. Well, it was drama during the games.
You had,
but
the Tuesday game was really good. That Charlotte game was really good with Miami.
Right.
But then, ultimately Charlotte just, they won their game against Miami, had nothing last night at all against Orlando.
Right.
And then they had the late game. Golden State beat the Clippers and, bounced the Clippers out. And now you don't know what Kawhi is going to do. And does Lou keep his job or not? We don't know. But again, last night the games were a one blowout, and the later game, I always thought that it seemed that Phoenix was in control of that game last night for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State tried to get it down, but as soon as Golden State got it down to 8 points, Phoenix went right back up to 10.
Yeah.
They controlled that game.
Yeah, they had it. They were ready to go.
Yep.
They had that game controlled.
They lost the game to Portland on Wednesday night, but they came back ready to go. They were not going to be bounced out of the playoffs.
Yeah, they were determined of that. So now we see, as they call it, like Perkins said, that he calls those other play-in. He says playoffs, regardless of what you want to call it.
He's right.
He said that is playoffs. I don't want
stop
to hear this play-in. That's not
He's
the real playoff.
He's 100%.
He said what they're playing for, doing if it's not real. How they get in the playoffs if that don't mean something? It's all that is playoffs from then. That's the beginning.
I agree with him.
Yeah, me too. When he said that yesterday, I said, yeah.
He's 100% right.
Yeah, because he was answering somebody that said something. He said that's ludicrous. It's just you don't call this the playoffs.
It's the playoffs.
It's like he
said
it's a preseason game. He had me laughing.
Yeah.
He said this is real. You playing. This is like NCAA.
Right.
Lose or go home, and it's almost like that.
It is the 9-10.
Yeah.
Is the lose and go home.
Yeah, so come on. He said that is a playoff. That's do or die. That's what's on the line. So, and they were playing that way.
They did.
The teams playing hard and ready to go. That's why when you seen Orlando jump on the Hornet, had no sympathy. It wasn't like, oh, we can slack up. No, they just kept grinding and grinding.
Oh no,
they blew them out.
No, they blew them out. They were never going to let them back in the game.
Wasn't even giving them the thought process that they getting back in. That's playoff basketball or playoff sports, period.
Next year, just Golden State. Next year, Stephen Curry's in the last year of his contract, paying him $62 million. Jimmy Butler is in the last year of his contract, paying $56 million. Porzingis is a free agent. Draymond Green has got the player option for $27 million next year. So he can opt out and be a free agent. So that's going to be a question is, what do they do with Draymond? Are they going to extend him or let him play his player option? Or if he opts out, he's a free agent.
Right.
Do they let Draymond go? If Draymond opts out, he's a free agent. He can sign anywhere.
Yeah. And the thing about it, people say, just let him go. No, you can see how big a factor
he is.
He is defensively. It's not about scoring points.
No.
It's the presence on the court and the smarts.
Yeah, Draymond's a smart player.
Yeah, he might aggravate
you
with things he do.
He's all working he's working that.
Yeah.
He plays that to his advantage.
Yeah.
That whole trash talk and that's what his game, that's what he does.
Yeah.
He likes to be the bad guy.
He gets in your head. Right. Like Dylan Brooks, he can get in your head too. Pay attention.
Right. Saturday Morning Sports Page. Got another hour. Get to the NFL draft right after this.
If you want to stay on top of your health, one simple thing to do
is take the pledge to go and get screened for the cancers that might affect you.
So stand up to cancer and take the pledge at GetScreenedNow.org.
It only takes a minute to take care of yourself, and nothing rhymes with org.
Talk to your doctor about your health.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
If I could be you.
And you could be me. For just 1 hour.
If you could find a way.
To get inside each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Ohio. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Saturday morning sports page. Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. 330-707-4202. Oh, Dave Clark, let's look at our draft. It starts on Thursday night in Pittsburgh. What I figured we'll just do is we'll go the first round and we'll go team by team. You give me your, number one. Raiders, number one. Then we'll go 2, 3. Well, we'll just work it out. So, who do you have as your first pick overall? That's an easy one.
Bart Starr. No.
Yeah, Bart Starr. Yeah. Yeah. Rest in peace. Have a seance.
Yeah, we'll go with Fernando Mendoza. I don't think we'll have to worry about that one. I think
I'll go Dan Marino since he should have been number one overall back in '83, and he dropped all the way at the end of the draft.
Yeah, it was 20-something. I forgot what he was with Miami. 23rd? No, I don't know.
29.
20.
Because he was the next. Yeah.
I can't remember.
He was the next to the last.
Okay.
Because the '83 draft, that was the Elway draft, and Marino didn't drop out of the first round, but he fell all the way down in the draft. To this day, we all talk about it. But he went number 27. There were 28 teams back then. Darrell Green went 28. He was the last player selected in the first round.
Who was?
Darrell Green.
And
Washington because they won the Super Bowl the year before.
So it was only 28 teams.
There were only
then.
28 teams then.
Okay.
And Washington had the last pick, and Miami lost the Super Bowl that year to Washington. That was the strike year. 82 was the strike year. Miami lost the Super Bowl to Washington in 83. And basically drafted Marino. They still, to this day, can't believe Marino fell all the way down.
Did it show what draft pick was he?
Marino was the 27th pick in the first round. And Darrell Green was the 28th pick in the first round.
Yeah, two dominating players.
Yep. Two Hall of Famers.
Yep, Hall of Famers and dominating. Not just dominating type of guys.
Here's in that draft, these were the Hall of Famers. John Elway, number 1. Dickerson was number 2 from the Rams. He was drafted number 2. Jimbo Covert out of Pittsburgh was drafted number 6 by the Bears, Hall of Famer. Bruce Matthews was picked number 9 overall by the Houston Oilers. He's a Hall of Famer. Jim Kelly was drafted by Buffalo with the 14th pick. Then number 27 in the first round was Dan Marino, and 28 was our guy Darrell Green, who could still probably run in this day and age. At his age, could still run a 4.40.
He just might.
I'd love to ask him that. Boy, I would love to have Darrell Green. Say, Darrell, I have a question for you. Can you still run a 4.40? I bet he can.
Well, we know at 55
he did back then
old.
Because I think it was LeVar. I was saying this last week. LeVar Arrington, he was at camp. He says, yeah, he could still go.
Yeah.
He could still run 4.4. He was
run.
still blazing down the.
Yeah, those guys had uncommon type speed. Oh my God! That's the same thing when Deion went to the Redskins. People remember he had the toe problem.
Yeah, he had a bad. That's right.
He was still playing and running.
Yep.
And he played at Baltimore. They said he still was the fastest player on at the Redskins at that time.
Yep.
He was still the fastest player on that team. And then after he retired, he came back and played with Baltimore. He was one of their fastest players. They said that only not Jamal Lewis, the other Lewis. He was the receiver, if you remember him. It's not Jamal. Jamal was the running back. This guy's name is Lewis, too. Number 84, I can see him now. He's the starting receiver and kick returner. He was the only one that was faster than Deion on that team. And Deion had been out of football for about 3
And
years.
he was out,
And then
he
came
played
back and played
baseball.
Yeah, well, he's playing baseball. Then he retired.
And then he retired
because of
the toe.
And he came back and played
And
that
he
year
could
with Ray Lewis and
with Baltimore.
Yeah, and Earl. What's our guy? Not Earl, but at safety. How you gonna forget number 20? I'm forgetting.
Oh,
his name.
for the Ravens.
Yeah, they're all from Florida. But I'm saying that guy came there and was still even faster than him, who had been playing. He's a Hall of Famer now too. I'll get right. I don't know why Earl Thomas coming, but it's not Earl Thomas.
No.
You know what I'm talking about.
What year was this?
When Deion came?
Yeah, to Ravens.
Oh,
I have to look it up. Okay.
Yeah, you definitely have to look it up. It's in the 2000s. It's this maybe 10 or I forgot what year he came. He played that last. Do you remember him playing there?
Yeah.
He played for the Ravens. He started at corner, and he returned kicks for them. Deion came back and returned
2004, 2005.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So he actually, he had, Deion did. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And what's that? Yeah, see, people forgot that he played for the Ravens. Yeah. And I can't think of that, the receiver, number 84. I know his last name was Lewis, too. But he was the fastest guy on the team. And I'm trying to think, what's the guy's name? Little. What's the safety I'm thinking about? Why can't I think of his first name right now? But he was the made the Hall of Fame just a few years ago. He got inducted to the Hall of Fame. Probably one of the best safeties ever played NFL. And they used to have them battles against Pittsburgh, and Polamalu and him were unbelievable.
Yeah, look, that's the thing people don't realize. Like, Deion was an absolute freak of an athlete, and still, one of the great shutdown corner.
And they even said the thing about that there was incredible Bo Jackson. They said when he came back and got the hip.
Oh, Ed Reed.
Ed Reed. I don't know why I couldn't think of Ed Reed.
Yeah,
but
Ed Reed
was playing, and he was even faster than Ed Reed when he came back. There was only one guy on the team that said that's that
Who was
receiver.
the player you thought you were saying?
Lewis.
Who was faster than he?
What's number 84 on their roster back then? I think his number was 84. But I know.
There was Raymond Himes and Travis Taylor were the two wide receivers on that team.
another
Jamal
guy.
Lewis was the running back.
Number 80.
Kyle Bowler was the starting quarterback on that team.
Who else they have? It's another
Will
guy.
Demps was a free safety. Ed Reed was the strong safety. Chris McAllister was one corner, and Gary Baxter was the other corner.
Yeah, he moved Baxter out, though.
Okay.
Yeah, Baxter didn't start.
No.
McAllister did because he got all the big money.
Because he got all the big money.
Uh-huh. He was decent. He was decent. Yeah.
Let's go to the draft.
Well, Mendoza, we already know.
We got, yeah. So we have Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a foregone conclusion. I mean, nobody. I know they talk about, they're listening for trades, but I think in this draft, because to me, I was telling somebody the other day, I said, this is a kind of draft that people underplay it, but I think there's a lot of talent, and it's a very even draft. Like, I don't think there's a big discrepancy, even with the first and second round guys. I mean, there's not even, you listen to some of the gurus and analysts, they don't think there's a big difference between Mendoza and Simpson at quarterback. Now,
well,
I don't know about that. I
Yeah.
don't think that's
Yeah,
a reach. I think
now
that's
the major,
a reach.
the major guys that I listen to, they don't rate them nowhere close.
Right.
Some of the major guys I
Right.
listen, like Bucky Brooks and all
Right.
them guys.
Nobody's doing that.
No, they're not doing. But I have heard guys say that at first, like it's 1A and
Well, I
1.
think Orlowski is the one that's saying that.
I think that he is one of them.
He's one of them. Basically says that he thinks Ty Simpson is really, people are underestimating Ty Simpson.
Well, I like Tyson when I first seen him just in his game.
Right.
But this is the thing. He had a lot of inconsistencies. He only started, I think, 15 college games, somewhere in there. And you had inconsistency at the college level. Now, if you look at how he can throw the football, oh, yeah. I think he could do it all, throwing the football. But playing in the NFL is different than college. And if you was inconsistent there, he's going to have to build some things coming to the NFL. So no way I'm rating them close.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, no, I can't.
I still think there's a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, it's a gap there. But he's one of the main. I'm glad you brought him. He is one of the main guys I've heard bring that up, and he's going to be heard because he's on ESPN. He's on ESPN, and he's out a lot. So, you hear, but I don't hear from too many other guys, execs or anything. But he could surprise us, but I don't.
No.
Like I say, if the Raiders came and said, we'll take Ty Simpson, boy, I think people would just fall off their chair. I'll be done with them.
The only question you're going to have in this draft, does Simpson move up in the draft? Like right now.
You mean in the first round?
In the first round. Now, if you look at certain mock drafts, they don't even have him in the first round.
Yeah, no. He's at the beginning of the second round, though, right away.
Right. But they have him going right away in the second.
Mm-hmm.
The question's going to be does Simpson move up in the first round? Does he get in the first round? Mm-hmm. And does he move up? Or the teams kind of back off? Because, people criticize the Steelers for drafting Kenny Pickett in the first round because they said they reached. And they said they needed a quarterback.
And they
reached and got Kenny Pickett, and that was not.
The only reason I think the Ty Simpson he could if it's a team that think their quarterback is on his way out and it's a good team. Other than that, teams that are not that good, I don't think they're going to reach on Ty Simpson because they probably say, okay, we got a 3-year plan to get back in contention. So we're not taking Ty Simpson. We'll get around that and wait until next year's draft where they're looking at so many guys. Yeah, next year's draft is so many quarterbacks.
It's the mother lode of quarterbacks.
Yeah, so I think they will do that. Now, a good team could say, hey, we'll take him because of whatever, maybe. But I don't see that happening. Like, it was desperation when the Steelers did that and other teams
Well,
reaching
it
out
wasn't it wasn't a really strong draft.
for quarterback.
It was Malik Willis and really Kenny Pickett were the only two quarterbacks in that draft. And Malik Willis, people were trying to convince themselves he was a first rounder, and he wasn't. He ended up going the third round for Tennessee.
Right.
But that actually worked out good for Green Bay because they got him in a draft and they developed him.
Yeah, and he played good. Now it worked out for him to go somewhere and like he is now and make the money in Miami. So
yeah, now we're
get
going to
a
have
big contract there. See what he could do.
So with the second pick of the draft, the Jets. Dave Clark, what is your opinion here?
Most of the drafts had Reese, Arvell Reese, and everything. You'd think it would stay. I'm going to change. I'm going to go different on something that I just heard yesterday. No, day before yesterday. It's Saturday, so it was Thursday. I'm going to change. I'm going to go David Bailey because of Aaron Glenn thinking of a situation they had in Detroit when they was trying to think who should they take, what could change our defense around to really get us going. And it was a pass rusher. Yeah. And Bailey has done everything, and he looked at Aiden Hutchinson, how that changed the Detroit Lions around. And that, they all get 2 visits to come and see it. Well, R.L. Reese did his. David Bailey's got canceled. He's supposed to go back yesterday. He didn't go. They told him, nope, you don't even have to come back. And Bucky Brooks was saying that sometime now, they still might stay with Reese, but that might be a sign that, hey, we satisfied with this guy. We already know. We done checked everything with him. We're going with him. So I'm just going to take that chance. It's hard to pass with Reese, but because I don't know what he's going to play. Reese, is he going to be a middle? Is he going to be an outside edge rusher? I don't know what he's going to be.
Right. That's the problem that they have with Reese.
That's the only thing. But is he a stud? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm gonna just switch something up. I'm gonna try Bailey. When I heard that and they was talking about, I said, yeah, that is true. You don't usually cancel him unless you are already satisfied. We're good with him.
I'm gonna say it is the New York Jets, so you have to keep that in mind. I've seen Reese's name pretty much. That seems to be the pick.
Yep.
And now we're not going to figure out trades. We'll just pick it.
No, I'm just going to pick it as is.
We'll just pick as is, knowing, we have no control over trading. I think you're right. I kind of go back and forth because I know he's by far the best player, edge rusher coming out. They've got Falk out of Auburn rated number 2.
Yeah.
And Ruben Bain in Miami rated 3. Now, I've seen Ruben Bain, his name in top 10.
Yeah. Well, they said he had that pro day that he had last week.
Right.
Moved him up even more.
And moved him up more.
We'll see, though.
I'll take Reese I think they'll stick, and I'll go, that's kind of a chalk pick, but
that's what I've seen everywhere.
I've seen Reese. I'll go with that one and go overall. Then we got the number, number 3.
It's Arizona Cardinals.
The Cardinals of Arizona.
Who you got?
Let's see. We've got, they got number 3. Who do you think Arizona will pick?
Arvell Reese. They just switched position. I thought Bailey would go like 3rd, 4th. I'm just gonna switch them. I'll put Bailey going to not Bailey, but Reese going to Arizona.
I'm gonna go the other way. I'm thinking Bailey goes to Arizona. I think Bailey and Reese are going to end up in the top 5. It's just a matter of where. But I think I think Arizona will take Bailey at number 3.
Well, you took.
I've got Reese going
anyway.
2.
Yeah, so
Bailey going 3. You've got it. Bailey 2, Reese 3. Okay. The next team is the Titans. Tennessee Titans are next.
Well, you need to short. Tennessee need to short their receivers, offensive line.
They need a lot of help.
Yeah, I mean, you got a quarterback that you picked
Yep.
first overall,
and
so-
who's actually showing that he can play. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not. Cam Ward's got a lot of people
yeah,
high on him. He's playing good. It's not like, oh, this guy's a bust.
No.
He's Cam Ward's developing, and he's going to be their guy. Kind of like Jackson Dart with the Giants.
Yeah, I'm a Tennessee. It's between the two guys for me. I like. Let me see. Get his name spelled. Pronounce it right. From Miami, the offensive lineman.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go up, but this is the thing. I think Tennessee might shock people. Oh, this is hard. I think the offensive line be smarter to get your quarterback. But I was going to say it's between these two. The Miami offensive line, Francis Mugwoa.
Yeah.
Or is it Jeremiah Love?
Yeah, I'm taking Jeremiah Love on mine.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of that because that's going to take pressure. Can you run it? But how good is the offensive line? See, I don't know how good they are. If they're not that good.
Yeah, that's not
going to help.
You're going to burn that pick. It won't be good.
So, that's a tough one. But I'm gonna go ahead with Francis, the offensive lineman. You can get another year out of Pollard. You can get another back later too.
Yeah, you can always do that. So you're taking the offensive lineman out of
Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida. Let's see. Francis, I guess, is it Magoa?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Moving on, the Giants are next.
Who did you take for them?
I went Jeremiah Love.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did say that.
I'm taking Jeremiah Love. I think he's going to be a Titan. I don't think he's getting – because I'm a Giant fan, and I was hoping he would drop to number 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to happen. Now, I think if they don't draft, if they do what you have suggested, which they may do, and they take Maui Goa out of and I apologize for the pronunciation of Francis's name, but if they take Francis at number 4, then I would say the Giants would take Jeremiah at 5, but I don't think, being a Giant fan, as much as I want to see that happen, I don't think it's going to.
That's what I'm taking at 5. I'm taking Jeremiah Love for the Giants. Changes their whole entire team around, even though they need a receiver. But I got a receiver for him. And he could get him later.
Yep.
It's a guy, I don't know if you heard of him, Chris Braswell, Tennessee. Just watching this stuff earlier this week. He's 6'4", and I think it's 218. He ran a 4.29, and then he ran, for Pro Day, he ran 4.33. 6'4", and then his route running is good. He played a pro offense at Tennessee. You know he's going to fit in with Neighbors. You got 2 body type receivers too. I mean, that's crazy. Chris Braswell the second. I think he played the 10.
You know what? And here he is. He's rated 13th in wide receivers on the one Lindy Sports.
But that workout said it moved up. He moved up.
And he moved up, but they have him still going in the 3rd round. He's 6'5", 200.
Yeah, you can get him later.
He's got that length, right? So the Giants may do that.
They might do it.
They may go.
Jeremiah Love just changed the whole.
But if they can I agree with you. I just don't think he's going to be there. But I wish he was, because I would take Jeremiah Love at 5. But I think Tennessee's taking him at 4.
You know who else going to shock us? 3. Arizona.
I don't rule that out either.
No, because Connor is coming back from an injury.
Right.
Their other backs have been injured. They're decent. But they may say, you know what? We want Jeremiah Love.
Well,
I can see them
if they
taking
do,
him.
and I don't rule that out, because if they take Jeremiah Love, then I would think that the Titans would take Bailey if
Oh, yeah.
the Jets don't take Reese,
that's what would happen.
Then I think the Titans take Bailey at number 4. If Jeremiah Love, I think Jeremiah Love is kind of like a linchpin in this draft.
Yep.
Because there's people saying outside of Mendoza going number 1, and maybe Reese or Bailey going 2. Jeremiah Love looks like he's going 3 or 4. I mean,
well, they say he's the best player in the draft.
Yes, and everybody says that Jeremiah Love is by far the best player. Maybe that's a stretch saying by far, but they say that he is the best player. So he's a running back. So people also know that you need a running back, and he's like kind of on his own. Like
and this doesn't change. They try to not talk about the running backs no more, but
right.
You see, you need them. We done seen them in these last couple Super Bowls.
Well, yeah, you see the Super Bowl. That's how. I mean, they let Walker go because they've got Seattle let Walker go, but he's one reason why they did win that Super Bowl. He was the MVP. Now I can make the argument he was the reason. Now, granted, maybe the defense.
Yeah, they played great.
I mean, they could have made the defense an MVP. They never do that, but they could have. But Walker was clearly, to me, offensively, an MVP on that Super Bowl, sure, but. Yeah, he's the reason why, one of the reasons, primary reasons why Seattle did win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I got the G-men, and as much as I just don't think Jeremiah Love would be there. I still think the Giants, I'm kind of torn. I don't know if they're going to go defense or offense, but if they go offense, I see them going after the big lineman out of Utah. But I have a feeling, knowing Harbaugh, he's going to want the defensive guy. I think they're going to take, and I'll go with, it's a little chalk. I'll see Sonny Styles out of Ohio State going to the Giants. I'm debating between he and the kid out of Utah, Spencer Fano, the big lineman. But I think the Giants, knowing the Giants, they'll take Sonny Styles out of Ohio State. Or now, I do debate because they could take Cornell Tate out of Ohio State because he would match up.
Yeah, and he'll be playing a natural position, a number 2 instead of number 1.
I'm going to kind of put a parenthesis. I'm going to put Sonny Styles or Cornell Tate, I guess. And then Cleveland's number 6. So I'm almost going to say what Cleveland's going to do if the Giants take Sonny Styles, then they'll take Cornell Tate. But if the Giants take him, then Cleveland's going to take Styles. I know that's the wrong thing to do here.
Now, I'm trying to think. Swearinger.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Swearinger got the green dot. Don't he? Isn't he the defensive play caller? I think he is.
I think so.
They play the same position.
So they won't take him.
I don't think they'll take him because
they'll take Tate.
Yeah, because that's what I'm gonna put down.
I think the Giants are taking Styles, and I think Cleveland's gonna take Tate because they need.
That's why I'm taking Tate.
They need wide receivers. You're gonna.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I think you're right. I still think that there's a better chance of the Giants taking Tate than Cleveland taking Sonny Styles because you're right. You have duplication there.
Yeah. I know Swearinger, I'm pretty sure, and he was all over the field, so there's no way they're going to move him to an outside or something. I don't think they'll move Styles either.
Now,
there's inside guy too.
The rumor is they're going to trade Myles Garrett.
Yeah, again, I've been hearing.
I don't know about that, but that's our time. We're going to wrap it up. We have to, I guess.
Yeah.
Next 30 minutes to go. Back after this Saturday Morning Sports Page.
Are Are you tired of switching apps just to catch your favorite shows and live events? Say hello to the iMedia1 Network app, your one-stop destination for streaming and everything that matters. From national sports to exclusive local content, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast are now all in one place, anytime, anywhere. Download the free iMedia1 Network app on iOS and Android and unlock the future of sports audio in the palm of your hand. The iMedia1 Network, your sports app in the Valley.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local live events. Tune in and be a part of their live weekly shows, as well as all of the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the GDFL. Find them at westernreserveradio.com. Tune in and the Live 365 app to be a part of the area's sports conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio and on Twitter at WR_radio.
This is Jerry Snodgrass, Executive Director of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One of my long-standing goals is to help people understand that high school sports are about so much more than wins and losses. The OHSAA promotes education-based athletics, where sports are an extension of the classroom. Our schools all want to win. There's no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, it's all about sportsmanship, leadership, and making certain that academics are a priority. Thank you for your support of high school sports in Ohio.
Saturday morning sports page back. Pat Lucia, Dave Clark, giving our best shot at the draft, talking this through today. Let's look at the next pick. Oh, it's the Dallas Cowboys, Dave Clark.
Well, did they move up?
Oh, wait a minute.
Did we forget the Saints?
Did we skip somebody? Hold on.
Oh, wait, no, Washington. It's 7.
Washington. My bad. Yeah, Washington's number. No, sorry.
Yeah.
I looked at one of the mocks that had them moving up. This one's got, they've got number 7.
Mm-hmm.
So the question's going to be, with the number 7 pick, providing there's no trade up, which there might be.
Yeah, it probably will be somewhere in there anyway.
Well, there usually is.
Yeah.
With these drafts. And I think that's kind of where a lot of people get, like, you look at these teams and you're like, what else could happen? And one thing this year, and they talked about it, none of the mock drafts are the same. Like, they're all over the board because we talked about it. They don't really know where any of these teams are going to,
Yeah. Yep.
And then what's better yet, to make matters worse or better, and then he's got these mock drafts trying to figure out trades.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I like to look at the ones where it's just as the picks are, because you can't, they do that, but who knows if that's going to happen.
No, I mean, they're all over the place.
Yep. Washington, for me, I'm going to take defensive back corner, Mansour Delaney from LSU, because I know all I see is it says needs, and they got a defensive backfield, blah, blah, and they go on. I'm taking him because he's probably the best corner coming out.
Yeah, he is.
He's
in all the magazines.
Yeah, he's a guy that you could put over and say, okay, you got that side, and so
Yeah, and they rate him very high.
Yep.
Like, they say that he could be a potential shutdown guy.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He could just basically shut it down. Like, he could just come in and say, okay.
And that's what they need some more help when they and that helps Dan Quinn putting his defense together because if he can shut down one side, it makes everything else come in the coming pattern. So I can see that happening with Quinn.
Yeah, the other one that they've got, yeah, that's linebacker. Yeah, but you're right. Bottom line is, I was just looking up the corners here, and this has got. I think it's a pretty good draft for corners.
Mm-hmm.
But as you were saying, yeah, they got. As I'm kind of motoring through this magazines. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Delane's number one. Not even close. Yeah, I'll follow you. I think you're spot on. I'll take Delane going LSU with the Washington pick. All right, let's move. Let's motor on here. Let's see here. Here it is. So next up in the draft,
who did you take for Washington?
I went with I went with
guy?
Delane too.
Okay.
I mean, it just makes sense that because he's considered really one of the shutdown corners. It's not even close.
Right. I think that's
New Orleans is up next. Now I've seen him going
to there. I can see him going there to New Orleans.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
I've seen him in a lot of mocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'd be staying right home in Louisiana if he goes there.
If he goes there.
But my guy I'm picking for the Saints, I'm going to go with if he don't keep slipping, but like Kyle Hamilton did. But I'll take Caleb Downs.
Yeah, from
Buckeyes. Because he doesn't have great speed. That's the same thing they said about Kyle Hamilton. But his instincts is great.
Yeah.
So, if you can make up for that. When you're an instinctive player, you can make up for speed. And Saints need defensive back help. So I'm definitely, especially at the safety position. So I'm taking Caleb Downs.
I'm going to go with Reuben Bain going to the Saints.
Okay.
I know he had that reckless op citation in 2024.
Yeah.
But, it's driving a vehicle. He didn't, that's not good. I don't want to downplay, but it is, leave it at that. Hopefully he figured that out. I mean, how many tickets does Myles Garrett have speeding in Cleveland? So maybe these guys need to get chauffeurs.
Sometimes, yeah.
Right.
I'm going to take the
KC is next.
Ooh. Well, I'm going to take Reuben Bain there. They need a pass rush. Pass rush help. Let me put it like that.
Yeah, they do.
But you know what? Well, Delaney, I just let him just went. But that's a team that needs a defensive back, too.
Right.
They traded all theirs.
Their
whole starting defensive backfield. McDuffie is at the Rams. And the other corner, I forgot what team he went to. Both starters was at other teams. They went as free agents. Well, Duffy was traded to the Rams. And I think the other cornerback from the Chiefs I think he signed as a free agent at the Rams. That's what they're saying, that all the Chiefs defensive backs go and play for the Rams this year. I seen an article on that. That's what I'm thinking of. I think they got both of their defensive backs.
Yeah, that's the thing with this.
Yeah, KC could use that. I mean, that McCoy from Tennessee is good, but I'm going to stay Reuben Baines. I'm going to stay Reuben Baines there. They need a pass rush, too.
Yeah, they do. They kind of need a lot of parts. And you know what? I'm going to go with Caleb Downs going to them.
Caleb Downs to the Chiefs?
Yep.
Okay.
Because they need, although, you know what? I'm kind of debating that. Not sure, because I'm thinking Cincinnati's up next.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, the Bengals always need a lot of stuff. They need defense, though, too. I was debating to have Caleb Downs go to the Bengals.
Oh, okay.
But I think you're right. I think that the Kansas City needs so much help though on the defensive side of the ball. You know what? I'm changing it. I'm going to go with Kendrick Falk from Auburn and I'm going to have Caleb Down going to the Bengals.
Okay.
And I'm going to have them take Falk out of Auburn.
Okay.
Because I know they need edge rush though too. They
Mm-hmm.
really don't have it. I know that's a little bit of a reach, but I'll take number 10, the Bengals taking Caleb Downs.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take Jermon McCoy. He didn't play last year at all for Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
But he was All-American before that. One of the best cornerbacks around. Had that knee injury.
Right.
But he done came back. His speed is back. Agility is back. Everything showed all that in the short shuttle. Everything. So Cincinnati needs everything on defense. So I'm definitely going with McCoy at corner.
And the next one is the Dolphins.
I'm gonna take. They need a receiver, and
they need a lot of stuff.
Yep,
yeah,
I got it. And you brought a quarterback in there. You got rid of your best receiver you had left on the roster. Hill's gone. You traded the other one to Denver. So you got what you got to replace. You got to replace it with somebody. So I'm gonna think it's between Lemon, or do you want to take the speed guy on the outside if he can stay healthy? Jordan Tyson from Arizona State.
Yeah.
I'm going to take him for Miami.
Okay. Next one up, I believe, is at Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who did you take for Miami?
I think they'll take the offensive tackle out of Utah.
Okay.
Spencer Fano. I think they need line help, and they need a lot of help. But I think you need to give Malik Willis a little protection since you took all his wide receivers away from him.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to have to get a solid lineman. I think you take him out of Utah and give Malik hopefully they give Malik some protection.
Yeah.
Because he's going to need it.
Mm-hmm. And Dallas is next?
Yeah, the boys are next, the Dallas Cowboys.
And that's who I'm taking. That's where I'm sending Sonny Styles to.
Okay.
Need somebody with the green dot in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be the guy right there.
Yeah, that's a good one. Dallas Cowboys. Let me see. They have, let's see, Dallas Cowboys. They have it on. Yeah, they've got the defensive side of the ball that they need the help with.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is maybe a little bit of a reach, but I think they take Akeem Messidor out of Miami. I know he's supposed to be a second rounder, but I think Dallas will take him.
Dallas will take Messidor?
Yeah, they take Messidor out of Miami. I think he's really good, though. I watched him against. He's a good player. I think Dallas takes him because they need a lot of help on the defensive side, and he's a good edge rusher. He and Reuben Bain were just brutal. Let's go next. Would be the Rams at 13.
Oh, it is the Rams?
No,
or
it's
the
not.
Falcons?
Falcons, my bad.
All the way back. See, that's because they got all these trade crap in here. The Falcons, that's a tough one there, but the offensive line is good. They just traded on their defensive line. So maybe...
See, I guess here's with Atlanta. Yeah, I mean, they got a new coach. Stefanski's coming in. So They just signed Pitts. Wide receivers are Drake London and Daryl Mooney. I don't think they really need wide receivers.
Right. Their offensive line is really good too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the question you've got.
They got young guys on defense.
I wonder if they trade out of it.
Yeah, that's why these trades like that. They got on mine. They got it where I don't know how I got it to the Detroit. That's what we got on mine. Detroit. I gotta find. That's with trades. I hate that.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is, Atlanta's got a good team, and that's the thing is, I would almost make an argument that Atlanta's got one of the better teams out there, and it's tough to see what they're going to do because I think that they've got a really a good team.
Yeah, it's hard to see what they would trade in that, but
wait a minute.
You got receivers. Well,
yeah, they all got all these mocks. Yeah, they got this traded with the Rams, owned by the Falcons got the pick, but it's so funny because it seems like you look at all the mocks and everybody thinks Atlanta's trading their pick.
Mm-hmm.
That they have the team. Well, let's do this since we're kind of stuck on Atlanta because we really don't know.
Well, I said I was just going to pick what's the best things you like to build up? The line, inside out. So,
well,
you're going to add another guy.
If you look at it this way,
in Atlanta, why not take?
I would take because I think what they're going to do is they're going to take offensive line. They're going to take Caden Procton out of Alabama.
Okay.
Because I think they're going to look at, and he's the second. Yeah, he's the Fano. Oh, you know what?
Yeah, I see the guy. I'm gonna take one. I'm gonna take offensive lineman too. I'm gonna take Freeling, right from Georgia, Monroe Freeling.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna take him because they don't have to. He doesn't have to be forced into starting. He can get there and be another piece on their offensive line. Try to keep their quarterbacks upright. Now you got Tua, and you got your first round draft choice from last year until he get healthy. You got to keep that line intact and keep it strong in case you do get any injuries. So I'm gonna go with Freeling.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Are bad. Now, what is going? Did Atlanta trade that pick?
Not that I know of yet, but projected trade with Rams. Pick originally owned by Falcons, so I'm thinking.
Because I got the Rams with the 13th. No, this looks like it's a trade.
Mm-hmm. It's all you almost got to go to.
I'm just picking. I just went with draft order.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying.
And I'm looking at the draft order right now on ESPN, but they've got L.A. They must have traded the pick to L.A.
Okay.
Atlanta did because they have pick number 13 at L.A. Rams.
Oh, so they got the
from
Rams
Atlanta.
Right
that was a trade. I missed it. That's the Rams pick. This is now the Rams pick.
Okay.
Not Atlanta's pick.
Well, I still think they may short.
Well, I'm going to go back with. I'll leave it as it is. I think the Rams will take Proctor out of Bama because, again, for offensive line.
Yeah. And Ramsey stayed with Freeling.
Yeah.
And I'll keep the same guy there, too.
Yeah, this is a trade. Next up is the Ravens.
I think the Ravens going to finally go defense. And I'm going to go Caleb Banks, Florida defensive tackle. Yeah, he's 6'6", 330 pounds.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I'll do, yeah. Let's go. I'll take Banks, too.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay is next.
Well, I know the guy that they been talking about for the longest has been Messidor, so I'm going to take him from Miami.
What,
Hakeem Messidor.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks, yeah. I'll take,
Yep.
Let's see what I'll do. Yeah, they got the, let's see. This is the This is the Buccaneers. Let's look at. Yeah, I will take. Now I already had them. I had Messidor going up for. I had him going to earlier on mine.
Mm-hmm.
No, I had him going to Miami.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go the Tampa. Yeah, he would basically. I believe he would stay home.
Right.
Right.
Yep. Be at Miami. And who's next? The Jets.
Let's see.
Yeah, this is the one.
We have the Buccaneers.
The Jets.
Looks like the Jets are next.
That's what it is. That Ty Simpson stuff has been talked about, but I don't see the Jets doing that. Trying to think. What is
okay.
Who is the Jets quarterback right now? I can't remember.
What's his? Oh man, I'm blank. What? Yeah. Played for the Raiders last year. Almost got murdered at quarterback.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did get him back. Okay.
They took.
Okay.
What's his?
Yeah. Now I can't think.
Now we can't. Yeah, I could describe him. Geno Smith. Geno Smith.
Yes.
No,
so,
I have Peter Woods going defensive tackle to the Ravens. That's who I.
Okay. Instead of.
Yeah. Yeah. I got Peter Woods going to the Ravens.
Well,
okay.
When you get to
I got Ty Simpson going to the Jets because it's the Jets.
Yeah.
But I agree. They probably don't need him. But
Well, most things say that, but I'm not even. I'm gonna take Mekhi Lemon.
Yeah.
Wide receiver from USC.
Yeah, the USC guy.
Yep. Because him and Garrett would be something else as receivers. That gives Geno some people to throw to. You can always get that successor at quarterback next season.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm wondering about there is if you have that going, let's see, you've got let's go. Next one is the let's see, you've got
17th
Jets that we're down to what 17. Now wait. Yeah, let's look here. We've got the Vikings. Is that
okay? Yes, I don't know what the.
I'm looking at it. Let me go back. Yeah, this is kind of hard to follow because I know some people have trades, but I believe the Vikings have the 17th. No, Detroit. Detroit's no. This is yeah. You got Tampa Bay. Yeah, Detroit's next, and then the Vikings. Lions, and then the Vikings.
And I'm gonna go with the defensive tackle.
Yeah,
Yes,
Jess got that pick from Indy. Just
Okay.
if we were kind of wondering.
I got the Jets taking Keldrick Falk. I'm not the Jets. I'm sorry.
The Lions.
The Lions. Now they can double up with their defensive lineman, rushing the passer.
Cedric Falk.
Yeah. No, it was Keldrick.
Oh.
From Auburn.
Oh yeah. He's the. Kendrick Falk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, he's the Auburn guy.
Yep.
I believe I had him going earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're right. I think what they'll do is they will take T.J. Parker out of Clemson because they.
Okay.
So the next one up is the Minnesota Vikings are after Detroit at 18.
Vikes. Let's see. I gotta see.
And
this guy's name. But if he goes to the Vikings, the guy I'm gonna say he'd be like a clone of the player
right.
he replaced. Where's his name? Try to pronounce it. Oh man, he's the safety from Oregon. I can't think of his. Cause that's just what he remind me. He remind me of Harrison Smith, it's probably gonna be his last year.
Right.
It's been saying this is his last year for some years now. He's still been out there, but this might be. This guy's like this is first round, so it's hard to say they would reach because he is I say he's top of the second round, but I can't think of his name.
I'll take
Oregon defensive back. That's all I'll say. Safety. I can't think of his name though. Can't find it either.
I think they go guard. I think they take Vega Ione out of Penn State.
Oh, that's a good pick. And probably the best guard.
Yeah, he's number 1. And as we always know, you can never go wrong with.
That's true.
And so you went to the. You were you have a defensive back out of Oregon.
Oregon, yeah, kind of find him.
Is he a corner or safety?
Oh, he's safety. Yeah, if you see him in his uniform, he look like Harrison Smith. Plays like him. Smart. This same type of guy. It just seemed like he'd be a perfect guy to get to take, so that way he'd be ready to take over for him.
Okay.
He got his pronunciation is.
Oh, is it Dylan Tienneman?
Yep, that's it. Yep, that's him. That's him. Yep. Yeah, I would definitely take him.
So he's going to the Vikings.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're wrapping this. We're not going to get all this
done.
No
way.
That's
we
okay.
Might get one more.
We'll try to squeeze in one more here. Let's go to the Panthers.
Well, they can use which would be good for Bryce Young, another receiver, but this one is not a receiver. He's a tight end. Kenyon Sadiq, Oregon tight end.
Okay. Let's do with that. Kenyon Sadiq, that's our mock draft.
Yeah. It'll be here Thursday.
Thursday's here, and then next weekend we'll break it all down. 3 rounds to break down next Saturday, and the NBA playoffs.
Awesome. Yes.
That's the show. Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. Back at it next week, Saturday morning sports page. Western Reserve Radio.
Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia1 Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Sports Betting Network. Hey, it's Ready Set Bet here on a Saturday. Matt Brown and Mike Somich coming to you for the next
3 hours. It is the world's largest sports book out here behind me in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. And Mike, we have an interesting little weekend of sports. We got playoffs starting. We have a elevated golf tournament going on. We have tons of Major League Baseball, maybe even starting to figure out the identity of some of these teams out there. This is, I'm kind of starting to get excited a little bit more about baseball because you and I both love to bet baseball, but the first handful of weeks are kind of tough. We're trying to figure out if what we thought preseason actually plays out into what is happening on the field. And now I'm starting to get at least a little bit of an understanding of who these teams are. And of course, we're only a couple weeks away from the Derby as well. We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we're dangerously close to getting reliable data sets in Major League Baseball. And that's one of those days where you, as a number geek, you get excited because you can actually dive into these and say, okay, we've seen enough batters, we've seen enough pitches, we've seen enough at-bats that we can start looking at some of the overall statistics from this season, compare it to past years, and understand who is overachieving, underachieving, and your sample size is getting to the point where it's relevant data. So you're excited about that part of baseball. I'm more excited about the playoffs, Matt. I am hyped up for the NHL playoffs this year. I think it's going to be phenomenal because you know what? The Stanley Cup playoffs always delivers. We've got the NBA playoffs. We'll talk about the games last night. A little bit of a bummer. I would have rather both of the teams that lost won because I think they're more fun. But, you know, it's part of the sports that you don't always get the fun team into the playoffs. And then you mentioned the Derby. We've got sovereignty versus journalism today at Oakland Park. Last year's first and second place Derby finishers, they're banging heads for no apparent reason. $1.2 million on the line, so I guess that's the reason. But they both could have gone to a bunch of different other places. Sovereignty announced a few weeks ago this is where he was going to return for the season, and journalism said, you know what? I'm in. Let's go. So both of them bang heads today at Oakland as well.
And of course, some NFL draft talk as we will be. It's kind of flown under the radar, Mike. Like, I don't know if it's just the way that the sports calendar played out. I don't know if what's going, but like, it's Thursday. It's happening Thursday. Is it because there's just been such a absolute understanding of who is going number one, and then also the fact that we know there's really only one star quarterback now? Maybe, and you and I will discuss whether we think another one will go or not. Like, I think for me, it's because the lack of kind of the splash players in this draft that this thing has kind of gone not untalked about, but certainly in our circle, which this is usually one of the premier betting events of the entire season. I think it's been maybe in the last 5 years, the least I've heard about it for sure, maybe longer.
Yeah, I think there's a couple reasons. I think from a national perspective, from a sports talk radio perspective, the fact that next year's draft is supposed to be better, and that Mendoza is such an assumed number one, I think,
and all the things and the way,
I think that is definitely lacking. You also have, look, your quote unquote best players available are at non-premium positions. I think that takes a little juice out of it. From a betting perspective, we talk about how it's been so great to have all of these markets and all of these books enter in and compete by putting out as many markets as possible. I think there's about 50% less markets on the NFL draft than there were last year. You can see sports books taking a step back, not a step forward. And when I'm looking through and I'm like, okay, I want to find this specific player over under, and I look at 4 books and it's not available and it's a first rounder, that is something that all of the first rounders were available 2 years ago.
You know, it's almost as if that thing that you and I have been screaming, that it's like, you know, hey, we actually are on a level playing field with the books, and they don't like that we're on a level playing field with them.
So you're seeing them be a lot more cautious. You're not seeing every player released as a number. You're seeing more like, okay, I get it. This team to draft this position, those markets are readily available. That's not as information because like you don't know as much as you do with a player where you're like, hey, he's either going at 14, 16 or 18. The over under 17 and a half. Give me the under. I'll take 66% chance he's going to get drafted. Those markets aren't available. And you could tell sportsbooks taking a step back from an NFL draft perspective. And that's why I think we haven't been as engaged on it, because we're waiting for these markets to pop, which I just don't think are going to show up at this point.
Yeah, we will definitely still talk about any bets we have in our account, anything we feel good about, anything that we might be moving on between now and Thursday when this happens. Rachel Krychak is going to join us. She'll talk some NHL with us. We've got Alex Barutha going to talk NBA with us. Jeff Erickson's going to come in and talk baseball. So again, a packed show here for us. But you mentioned we did have some games last night. The Magic 121-90 over the Hornets, just an absolute blowout there as Orlando claims the 8 seed in that one. Orlando went out to a 10-0 lead, 13-0. Had a 13-0 first quarter run, never looked back there in that one. Paulo Banchero gets 25, 5, and 6. LaMelo Ball, 23 and 5 there in that one. So the Magic will play the Detroit Pistons. That series opens here tomorrow, Mike. And as you said, you would have rather have had the Hornets. I think a lot of people would have rather have had the Hornets, but they never had a shot to advance here in this one.
No, look, the Hornets were just more fun of a basketball team. But look, the writing was kind of on the wall here. This was a Hornets team that we saw elevate themselves up into top 10 net rating earlier this season. But if you look at the last 15, 20 games, this has not been that version of the Hornets. The defense has regressed a little bit, not shooting the ball as well. And you kind of saw, for lack of a better term, the magic wear off the Hornets season here as it got later and later into it. And you were being propelled by a couple young players in Miller and Khan. And you could see it coming a little bit here. And we saw Khan really struggle in the 2 playoff games, essentially getting benched in the first one and then just 1 for 6 from 3 here in this one. A lot of things positive about the Hornets moving forward. Obviously a successful season for them. That being said, a little bit of a bummer. We don't get one of the more fun teams into the playoffs. I don't think either in the current iteration would have given the Pistons much trouble. However, I do think Hornets Pistons would have been a little more fun. That being said, Magic Pistons going to be a slugfest. These two teams are going to be real